We all knew it was going to happen. We called this so long ago that she would try to do this. It's as expected. I can expect no less from a bottom feeder like Eliza Blue. Her and her leeches are out for attack. They're out for the kill because they're upset at what we have exposed these past now about 2 weeks. And now the mainstream media are actually covering it. If you guys didn't see that today, it was covered by, what's it called? Let me see. It is called, apparently they showed a picture of me, by the way, but they didn't mention my name. And you'll notice a couple of news outlets doing that. They're not mentioning anyone who is actually banned or locked out of their Twitter by Eliza Blue. But it was on The Hill. That was who covered it. And I didn't get a chance to watch it, but they did cover it. And that is mainstream media. So it is getting some traction. Here we go. So basically, Eliza Blue, as you guys know, let me pop you guys out in chat so I can see what you're saying really quick. Hello. And don't forget to like the stream to help the algorithm get this out there, because she has gone mad with power. She is on a power trip like no other. I've never seen this bad of a power trip, at least in a first world country. And it's not just me who's getting hit, apparently, guys. It's also Anna, that Star Wars girl, as well as Steel Toe and others who are getting privacy complaints, presumably from Eliza, because in order to file a privacy complaint for it to actually go through, I believe you have to actually prove it's you to some degree. So I'm assuming it's her, given the pattern behavior of her deplatforming people and trying to censor them for posting anything about her past on Twitter. Hence how we got into this situation. So I'm gonna make the safe assumption that it's 99.9% chance her, especially since others are getting hit as well. And I don't know for sure, but I'm like pretty sure it's her based on pattern behavior. We'll find out in a bit about that. I replied to the YouTube email about the privacy complaint. And I gave them the receipts for her consenting to the World Star Eye Candy Eliza Knows video. And her, she did it in several occasions, but there's audio of it. There's a video of it, as well as a blog about it of Eliza Blue saying that she actually chased down the director to put her on World Star for this video that she is now striking people, presumably, not 1.1% chance it's not her, but it's most likely her, filing privacy complaints against people. I would need to know exactly how the system works in terms of filing a privacy complaint to see if they've ID verified, but in order for it to actually go through, I would imagine there's ID verification. But yeah, they're basically claiming I'm doxing her, essentially, by filing a privacy complaint. It's like, oh, I'm a private individual and you're intruding on my life. And it's like, no, actually, you're a public figure and you begged to be in this video, so shut the fuck up. Again, presumably her. I'm assuming it's her. I think we all would assume it's her, given the pattern behavior, given the past events over the past 2 weeks. Okay, let me just pin that really quick. As per usual, if you guys want to support my channel, you can do so at BrittanyVenti.com. And there is a lot to go down. I missed out on a lot of information because, as you guys know, as Anna told you guys, and as I made on the community posts on my YouTube channel, that I was caught in a little bit of a snowstorm. In Texas, 1 inch of snow shuts down the entire city. So I couldn't even get DoorDash. I had to just survive on what was around. And so that's kind of where I've been. I've been MIA because of that situation. And yeah, just like 1 to 2 inches. But it's really icy because it's like 26 to 32 degrees for the past few days. So the ice isn't melting. And Texans don't know how to use shovels or salt their driveways. And I say this because I lived in Connecticut for some time. So I've seen, like, I remember in Connecticut, really quick, that I would wake up in the morning, turn on the news to see if I got a delay, and then there would be like 3 inches of snow out, and they won't even give you a delay. A delay would be like you're lucky. It would take a lot of snow to get shut down in Connecticut to not go to school. So it's crazy to see that Texas will shut down for 1 inch of snow icing over just because they don't have the infrastructure to handle it, I suppose. But yeah, that's where I've been. That's why I've been MIA. But I have been listening, guys. I have been collecting the information. So I have a lot to go through. I hopefully can get through all of this entire stream. It's like 3 pages of information I've had to collect together and organize the timeline. So I'm sure I'll miss something here or there, but we're doing our best. Thank you, Backhand 187 for the $5. I haven't seen anyone talk about the EB's traffickers. Never been named nor convicted, nor she... nor convicted means she is aware of traffickers still active and probably abusing others. Yeah, she said that in an interview, that they're still out there. So, in my opinion, that makes her complicate in the abuse of those victims. Do you mean like complicit? Let's see. Mag G, thank you for the $1. And Marcus Henry, super chat at $10. Hashtag free Brittany, Venti, BX Bullet, Balenciaga, Elijah, now Eliza. Brittany, has any publications tried to hire you as an investigative journalist / reporter? This is wild. Yeah, you know, you can see a lot when your eyes are this far apart, you know? I get a full scope of things, so, you know, that's the one benefit to looking like a hammerhead shark. Matt, $5, thank you. Did you see the drama between Fair Unbalanced and, oh, you added the "un" there. That's why I couldn't read it. And the quartering. I didn't really get into it. I saw that a little bit on her end. She said that she summarized it as she was up late and speaking out loud, and then she said sorry for it. So it seems like it's squashed to me. Let me know if I'm having the wrong interpretation here. But she apologized for it, whatever it was she said. She said she was thinking out loud about, like, the quartering not thanking people for him getting unbanned, but he kind of did in some ways, people were saying. That seems to be my understanding of it. Again, you have to consider the fact I've had to collect a lot of information, so if I'm not 100% caught up on every little aspect, it's because there's a lot. Marcus Henry, $5 super chat. Brittler was right. Thank you for the $5 super chat. That's what they call me on FNT, which supposedly I will be on at some point soon. I'm not sure when yet. But I was actually on Nerdrotic's channel, Gary. He had me on his stream, and we went over a lot of the information, a lot of the clips, and it was really good. You guys should go check it out. Turn up your microphone. Really? Is it not loud enough? Are we going to do this again? Press 1 in chat if my microphone is too low. Press 2 in chat if it needs to be louder. She's playing out loud, get a better headset. Okay, so it was just them. Okay, cool. All right. I already feel like I have to, like, shout into my microphone. I hate that. Again, guys, it's just because I've been so busy. I can't even switch out anything yet. I just now opened my new laptop because, as you guys know, the MacBook broke. Piece of shit. Broke. And as they always do, which is why you should never buy a Mac. This stream is sponsored by Apple. If you like $2,000 paperweights, Apple is for you. I have cat hair on my mic. No, I'm joking. Yeah, that happens when you have cats. Anyway, I didn't get to eat a meal today, so if you see me snacking throughout stream, that's why. But before we get into anything, happy Black History Month, my friends, my fellow February Americans, my History Americans. Love you guys. Let's show some History Americans, such as myself, some extra support today in honor of Black History Month. And in honor of Black History Month, let's dive into the Eliza Blue updates of her trying to deplatform people on YouTube because she just has to try to keep a black bitch down. So let's start off here. So here's the funny thing. So I was gathering my documents, and I saw this, that Eliza had tried to strike other people, supposedly Eliza, assuming Eliza again, tried to use privacy complaints to flag the videos down for multiple other people. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I got one. I checked my email, and surely enough, guys, I did in fact get a false privacy complaint. And I say false because it wasn't fucking private, as we've been through for the past 2 weeks in this ordeal. I think we all can agree it's not private. And it was public on YouTube for 6 years with thousands of views and multiple sources of her herself confirming that it was consensual, and how she was bragging about being a video vixen, how she chased down the World Star guy. If you want the receipts that go in the previous streams, we'll probably play them later in the stream too. I actually have it right here, but let's go through these first, and I'll show you guys the receipt for that just in case you missed it. Andrew Thomas, thank you for the $5. Happy Groundhog Day to the always beautiful investigator with glasses, Brittany. I hope that you get your Twitter back soon. Hashtag free Brittany. Y'all are slacking with the hashtag free Brittany. Slacking. Seems like we forgot how we got here in the first place. No, but it's good that at least the truth is coming out. So anyway, Miss I was trafficked over here. Presumably filed this, and as you can see, this is the email from YouTube support. I can't really make it much bigger. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't let me make it bigger. Sorry about that. But the email reads, "Hello, this is to notify you we have received a privacy complaint from an individual regarding your content." And then they give the 2 links with the timestamps, and they say, please note that the violation may also occur in the title, video description, channel image, or background. This notification informs you that another user has raised a privacy concern about your content. However, it will not automatically result in your videos being removed. So that means they have to review it. And I did reply to this email, letting them know that this is bullshit in more professional terms, I suppose. And I gave them the receipts for her admitting that it was consensual and all that. We will review the complaint for potential violations of our privacy guidelines and consider restricting the content. In the meantime, please... So she's trying to scrub the internet right now. Eliza Blue is actively, again, presumably, I can say she's actively trying to scrub the internet just based on the Twitter stuff and her getting people to platform. But after this too, assuming it's her... she's trying to do a complete scrub. She wants it gone. She wants it to be memory hole. That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to retroactively, and Cordring talked about this too, how she would try to do this. Like, oh, if she gets the videos taken down, now she can act like they were private retroactively. And it's like, these why said I see all, bitch. However, it will not automatically result in your video being removed. Review the privacy complaint. In the meantime, please review the content, consider revisions to address the potential violation. There is nothing wrong here. I did nothing wrong. And I'll show you guys the exact timestamps of the videos that they gave me for this email. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to respond to me, but just so you know, you guys should be archiving everything, because this is wild. It has gotten insane. So the first one is over here at 9:24. That's the first timestamp in the email where the privacy complaint from Eliza is. Eliza. Basically, it's just a video of her walking around, you know, doing. So literally, a video of the video that was up. You can even see it says 37K views right there on the bottom left. Like, this was on their own platform, and they're trying to like and she's trying, presumably, again, I'm getting a privacy complaint about this, about a public video. Okay, so let's see the second timestamp, 11:06. Okay, 11:06. Fueled by trafficking, right? You would easily be like, oh, is this same video trafficked? Is this same video? Let's go ahead and uncrop this so you guys can see that. like, is this an So she's claiming that this is private. You know, here we go again with the same story of it's non-consensual when we have evidence that it's not. It was 100% consensual. And we're going to go ahead and play those receipts really quick so that we can overview that too over here. And there was a second video that also got a privacy complaint, which I'll also show in a second. But I just want to immediately show the proof here that it was 100% public and consensual. So let's listen.
Not that World Star video, I was a size 8, and I still would have classified as a World Star, as a plus size.
Happy Black History Month, everyone.
That's what's crazy with the world is that I still would have been plus, even in that World Star video. And I look at that now and I'm like, dang, I was so skinny, but it was the summer. I was doing a lot, you know. But yeah, I mean, honestly.
She was a size 8. Okay, she was a skinny legend trying to do this video. Size 8's like not a skinny legend, but you know, in her relative to her, it's skinny legend. She's bragging about, I was so skinny, I looked so good in that video. I was trying to get in that video so hard, and I was so happy about how it came out. The hip hop and beats in the background. Thank you, Frank, for the $50 super chat. Hail Brittler, keep fighting. F. Eliza Blue, she hit Chrissy's channel for privacy complaints on 4 videos. She's going even harder on Chrissy. I got one for 2 videos. I'll show the second one after this. Damn. Thank you for the support, everyone. I appreciate it.
One, I was blessed to work with one of the dopest directors in the game. Like,
she's talking about the World Star director.
Like, if you look at his resume, I was so blessed. You know what I mean? To work with him. He had a Red Dragon camera, and I almost pissed myself because.
Oh my God, he had an expensive ass camera. The World Star director, like, she's going on to even brag about the guy's camera, but it's a privacy complaint. YouTube, this is a privacy complaint. In fact, I should follow up the email with this timestamp of this live stream, like, just so they can get it in their heads. Let's replay that one more time. Hey, YouTube staff, listen to this. This woman, Eliza Knows, Eliza Blue, Eliza Sipe, Eliza Morthland, she goes by a lot of names, Eliza Cuts. She is consenting to the video. She asked to be in the music video, Eye Candy, Eliza Knows. It was also featured on World Star Hip Hop. Okay?
And I look at that now and I'm like, dang, I was so skinny, but it was the summer. I was doing a lot, you know. But yeah, I mean, honestly, for one, I was blessed to work with one of the dopest directors in the game. Like, Video God, literally, like, if you look at his resume, I was so blessed. You know what I mean?
She's blessed to be in the music video.
He had a Red Dragon camera, and I almost pissed myself because it was like a Red Dragon camera is so expensive to work with. I mean, this was like a video.
Yeah, I bet she does love the Red Dragons.
You know, mine. Not the actual video, but like the idea of wanting to do something of that caliber was so, like, I mean, it was literally so humbling. Like, it like dropped me to my knees. And to him, it was like every day. He's used to work with like Lil Wayne, Young Jeezy, 2 Chainz, Migos, Rich.
She just cannot stop name dropping.
Like, they're like, you know what I mean? All these people, like, the list goes on and on and on.
And on and on
and
and
I'm over here like, dang, World Star took a chance on me. You know?
And there you have it. World Star took a chance on her. Eliza Knows, Eye Candy. The video that was on World Star, she's like, damn, I got in there. She was hungry, guys. She was hungry. Okay? But it's a privacy complaint, YouTube? How is that a privacy complaint? How is that meant to be private? She's over here bragging.
Took a chance on me. You know what I mean? And now I got this Red Dragon camera. Yeah, girl, it was just very, 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 very humbling. And it's still to this moment.
Does this sound like against anyone's will or private to anyone? I don't think so.
It's still very humbling. I just feel so blessed. And the way the whole thing came about, and I've never even told anybody this, besides maybe a couple of girlfriends, was I had a vision. I couldn't sleep one.
She wanted it so bad that she's dreaming about it. Okay, she had a vision. She was fucking ding-a-linging herself to this thought, okay, of her ending up on hip-hop World Star.
night. I couldn't sleep one night. Couldn't sleep.
She couldn't
and
sleep.
I had a vision.
She had a dingling herself just to get to bed thinking about it, okay? About that red dragon. About that big old fat red dragon.
I said to myself, what would take me to the next level?
She was feeling herself, exactly.
Like for myself. What will get
she was, as I quote, gonna feeling herself. That was what the other music video was called.
Get me to that next level of that demographic that I want to reach and bring them that art, bring them that fashion, but
art.
Still keep it within the scope of what I'm doing. And at about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Miss C, thank you for the $5 super chat. You own nothing, John Snowden. Sorry, you know nothing, John Snowden. $10. Thank you for doing it through my website too. Sending my quarterly reparations for payment early, Queen. It's not early. It's February 2nd.
I just got this thing in my head like World Star.
It's on time.
World Star reaches the most
World Star
people.
World Star.
Honestly, like that I could reach. You know what I mean? I'm never going to be on E! Television. I'm never going to be on TMZ. You know what I mean? And
I mean, maybe she did have relations with the My Chemical Romance guy, right? Shouldn't TMZ be covering this? Shouldn't TMZ be covering this? And that was part one. Let's go to part two.
Like, I'm never going to reach one of those demographics, but I can reach crazy or stupid.
Sorry, it's the Twitter.
Crazy or stupid. Like, I'm never going to reach one of those demographics.
By the way, she was presumably striking people for these clips coming out. So I think that's why it's like a screen recording of the clip. But it was on her website. It was on her website.
But I can reach like a #1 entertainment, you know what I mean, site for urban. And I said World Star. It's got to be World Star. And I wrote the actual World Star website. I wrote them in email. It was short and sweet and to the point, explaining who I was. I think at the time I had 25,000 followers on Instagram. So I'm like, you know what I mean? It wasn't even like that much. And
privacy complaint, right?
To the point. Hi, you know. My name is Eliza.
Literally talking about that video, how she wrote them. She chased after them.
Come from the shy. I just want a chance. I'm always going to be different. I'm never going to fit anywhere. Just give me a chance. And I thought that email was
just give her. She literally begged them. Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance to please shake my ass on camera with the red dragon. Y'all know that I'm different. Y'all know I can't even afford an iPhone because I'm modest and I just help survivors. Because I'm on that grind. I'm on that. I'm a hustler. Okay, so just give me a chance. Shake my ass on camera, please. And then 6 years later, now suddenly, actually, that was non-consensual. Oh, where did this audio come from? That's not me. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I really hope YouTube goes over that privacy complaint she's giving me over this video. And honestly speaking, for falsely filing that, I actually think that YouTube should take action against her. And same with Twitter. Like, why? Okay, guys, we are all here for the most part, free speech, right? Unless laws are broken. So if you're on Twitter and you're actively trying to file false reports with a system that's meant to protect victims of human trafficking, okay, and you use that same system that you inspired Elon to create, and you're using that and using their resources to cover up your tracks that you consented to, and you're deplatforming so many people, more than 10 accounts at this point, have been locked or suspended because of this bitch, okay? Why should she be on the platform? She's actively trying to ruin the platform, trying to deplatform people, trying to abuse a system that they created. Why does that go unpunished? That doesn't make sense. If you had everyone doing that, you wouldn't have a platform. So no, that doesn't fall under free speech. No, guys, deplatforming other people does not fall under free speech. In case I had to spell it out for you. Isn't it interesting how her accent changes based on who she's trying to appeal to? Yeah, she's very manipulative.
Wrote Q, the owner of World Star, which has turned out to be he's turned out to be such a blessing to me. I'm not even gonna lie, he's like a little angel. He doesn't even know who he is. But
literally, she's talking about how much an angel he is for putting her in the music video that she's now claiming is a privacy complaint.
Turned out to be
again, allegedly her, assuming it's her. We'll find out soon. because she struck down so
Such
many
a
other
blessing.
platforms.
I wrote him, I added him on Instagram. I wrote him a direct message on Instagram. And I explained who I was and what my agenda was and what
her agenda was. She had an agenda.
And by about 10:30 in the morning, from about 6:30 to 10.
Could you find any more incriminating evidence? Like, it couldn't be more incriminating.
10:30 in the morning, we had already started negotiations for my video. And he said to me, you know, I've never taken a chance on a girl that had under 1,000 or 100K. He said, I've never taken a chance on a girl that had under 100K followers.
Throwing the numbers there again. I never took a chance on a girl under 100K. She's like, I'm different. I'm special.
And I was like, I didn't even know what to say. He's like, but I like your looks. You're different. Let's do it. And that's what it really was. That's honestly what it really was. I mean, which is so cool. Like, I just followed my gut and I followed my heart, and then.
Okay, I just want to make sure after the stream, someone please do me a favor after stream and give the timestamp for when I play this specifically to show YouTube staff that she is being malicious, if it is her, assuming it's her. That these privacy complaints are in fact malicious. Straight up evidence against that. And here's the second video. In case you guys want to see, here's the second video that I also received a privacy complaint on. At 1:13:38 is the timestamp that is listed in the email. This is weird. What are you? So it's literally me scrolling over the bitchute version of the video. This is while it was still up, by the way. I'm pretty sure on YouTube. But yeah, it was under the same title. I'm getting a privacy complaint for showing another website. Are you serious? This is the privacy complaint? Why did I even get, why would they even entertain this? It better not get entertained further, because this is going to be just another system that's being exploited, just like Twitter. And then everyone's going to do it, and then everyone's going to get deplatformed. So let's hope that that's not the case, right? But yeah, that was a quick little reminder that she did in fact consent to that. So in case this one also, she tries to, in case Eliza tries to strike this one for a privacy complaint, even though she's a public figure, literally a trafficking advocate, and these are public videos which she consented to for 6 years, just so we know that's there. The evidence is there. We played it in this stream. So again, I want you guys to make sure that you are archiving everything, because she's going for everything, I think. And another example of that isn't just YouTube, by the way. So we know that she got multiple people locked and suspended over her BS and lies of her saying it's non-consensual, which we now know that's clearly bullshit. But she also got Cucy in trouble as well. So Eliza Blue has a few clips going around that are very strange, very off-putting, very, we'll see what you guys think of it, how you guys would word it. Some people have called it gross, some people have called it appalling. Her stance on children and consent. And Cucy had posted a clip, and the link got struck, and Anna as well, apparently. So again, I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anybody who was struck. It's just because, like, I'm not always in the know. But yeah, I did hear earlier in the stream people saying that, and I was DM'd, that Anna, that Star Wars girl, was struck. People in chat are saying legal mindset too. This is wild. It's like the whole fucking anti-woke atmosphere is getting struck because of Eliza Blue trying to hide her bullshit. It's wild. So legal mindset, Anna and Cucy, and Steel Toe, and probably others too. So anyway, this is the clip that Cucy apparently got struck for, which is obviously fair use as well.
Certainly acknowledge that there are many people who are, 13, 14, 15 that have sex with an adult and then feel as if they were taken advantage of too.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so let's focus on the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pretend like we all have our like utopia. So if I could answer this in utopia, right? In my like perfect ANCAP utopia. Each community.
So this is her perfect world. Just keep that in mind.
And each, so it'd be each caregiver, parent, and community, including teachers, potential faith leaders. And
by the way, I want you guys to notice whose channel this is on. Liberty Lockdown. It's not even Eliza's to strike down, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
Neighbors will decide if the child is ready to consent and look at the child's behavior. Do they have a job? How is their education going? Are they cognitively available to have sex with this individual? And then also look at the history of the individual as well. So does this individual have a history of abuse? Yep. And then you go from there.
Certainly.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know if they're agreeing or with their head nods, or if they're just like, okay, I'm hearing you kind of head nod. But I don't know who thought that sounded good. Was the chat doing that too? Were they like clapping in chat? Was the chat like on board with this or what? Like, are you insane? Having the fucking neighborhood get to decide if your teenage or even preteen child gets to fuck? That is creepy. And I saw the funniest meme in regard to this, by the way. I was laughing my ass off when I saw this meme. Eliza Blue. The council has covenanted you and declared that you may have sex with this 13-year-old child. This is literally what she wants in her perfect ANCAP utopia. Like, literally the whole neighborhood gets to decide if a 13-year-old fucks with them. What is this? What is this reality? And this is the person that gets their way, that gets to just like censor people? Is the person that says the neighborhood gets to decide if your child gets to get dicked down? Are you for real? I lost my shit seeing this. I was busy being stuck in the snow, guys, but I was losing it to this. I really was. And there's a couple of other clips too from the same stream that I want to play as well. I will read the super chats in a bit.
Certainly acknowledge that there are many people who are 13, 14, 15 that have sex with an adult and then feel as if they were taken advantage of too.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so let's focus on the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pretend like we all have our like utopia.
Okay, so that's the same clip. And there was a second clip. I just want to make sure we played all of them. And there was a second clip over here from Chrissy's Twitter. So we can all agree that that was not like out of context, right? I saw other parts of the podcast that's from, and they were contextually talking about like 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds, etc. So it's very creepy to me for her to say that that's utopia.
The community and the child. If the child so desires to have intercourse with an adult,
she's like, yeah, the child desires. Here's the thing, Eliza. Children, it doesn't matter if they desire something. If they desire to have sex, there could be a 13-year-old saying, I want to be a porn star. I want to be an online prostitute. I want an OnlyFans all day. They can scream it all day. That still doesn't mean that it's consensual, because they cognitively can't understand the consequence of that. They cognitively cannot consent to that. People that are not cognitively there, they cannot consent to things. That's what consent is. I thought she was the fucking professional victim. I thought she was Miss Anti-Human Trafficking. I thought she would know this basic concept of consent. Shouldn't you know that if you're an anti-trafficking advocate? Going around accepting awards for it, which, by the way, in your own award speech given, they didn't even have a highlight reel to play for you because they had nothing to show for it, which, by the way, you can find on my YouTube short because I don't feel like going back to it right now. But you would think she would know what consent means. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter if the child consents verbally. It's not consensual. They're mentally incapable of consenting to something like that. They can't. They don't understand. And it doesn't matter how mature they are. They can be the most mature 13-year-old you ever fucking met. Guess what? They still can't consent to sex with an adult. Okay? It'd be different maybe if it's like within 3 years and they're both teenagers. Yeah, you don't want to lock teens up for having sex with other teens, obviously. But this is not coming across as the case at all.
intercourse with an adult, the parents,
hold on,
an adult, if the child so desires to have intercourse with an adult, the parents, caregivers, and anyone that's, I mean, it's just what I just said. That would be up to if the child has desire, and if the community also decides that the person that they're supposed to have intercourse with is not using force, fraud, coercion, manipulation.
This is really like NAMBLA talking points. It's like predator talking points, which is really interesting coming from someone who's supposed to protect victims from predators and represent them, like how she said she was going to do with Tate's victims or whatever. It's like, okay, well, their case might as well be thrown out. She's representing them and standing up for them. What the fuck does her word mean? She doesn't even understand the basic principle of consent. How can she defend anyone? How can she defend any victims? Because according to her, in a perfect world, kids aren't victims if they have sex with adults. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter how consensual the kid thought it was. It's still not consensual. You could be, guys, nothing can make up for time, right? Time is very valuable. It's such a valuable thing that you can't buy it, okay? Nothing can buy time, so to speak. You either are a person that's lived so long or you're not. So it doesn't matter how mature you are for your age. You will still not be as mature as someone who is like, I don't know, like 100 years old. Even if you are on a technical basis more mature and more knowledgeable, it's because they actually have the lived experience. The lived experience is of value. It is a factor. It doesn't matter how mature you are. You need to actually do it. You need to actually live the experiences in order to have that wisdom to a point. It's a point of value. It's not just like how smart you are. Doesn't matter if you have 200 IQ. It's still not the same as wisdom from actually aging. So this is bullshit.
Intercourse with is not using force, fraud, coercion, manipulation.
Why don't you have a seat there and get comfortable for that?
Seriously. Great edit by Frank, by the way. This is where it's from, if you guys want to go get it off of Twitter. But it's funny, but it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad watching that this is the person that's advocating for underage, because that's her focus. She says this all the time, especially in this interview. She actually mentions that her focus is about children, so go to the worst thing, right? As you heard in the beginning of one of the clips. So she's supposed to be advocating for children, yet she's like, oh, like the children can consent to adults having sex with them as long as there's no coercion or extortion and things like that. It's like, no, actually, it's still not consensual. Like, you're still having, how did the child get the thought in their head that they want to fuck an adult? Like, that just magically happened? Does she think that the soil is magical and it, like, changes the child's ability to consent? Like, I'm sorry. I know, guys, I know a lot of people are going to be like, and you're sus, by the way, for this. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, but like, don't you know the age of consent in this state and that state are like different despite being next to each other? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what the law says in that regard. We morally fucking know that shit is nasty. We morally know that there is a power gap when you have too big of an age gap. We know that. And we know for damn sure that a 13-year-old cannot consent to fucking a 25-year-old. So I don't give a shit if the age of consent in one state is 15 and the one next to it is 18. Did the soil magically change the child's ability to fucking consent? Did it magically transform their brains to have that actual past time and wisdom to be able to know what they're consenting to with an adult, a grown person that can run laps around them mentally? I'm sorry, there's no such thing as magic soil. It doesn't matter where you are. It's not going to change the fact that a 13-year-old cannot consent to having sex with an adult. Same thing with a 14-year-old, and so on. Again, exceptional if it's within 3 years and they're both children, like under 18. within 3 years, okay, makes sense. Don't put them in jail for that. But like, it gets to like every year when you're in a certain age group counts for more. Like if you're 13 and you have sex with a 16-year-old, there's a good chance that the 13-year-old doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Every year counts in the adolescent stage in life. That's why wisdom is so valuable. The actual experience of having that time pass you. It's not just the book knowledge. So I do not agree with any of these arguments of like, oh, in a perfect world, a child can consent. No, the fuck they couldn't. It doesn't matter if we're back in the day. Okay, you could say like, oh, back in the day people died or whatever. But like, the matter of the fact still is the same, that a 15-year-old's a 15-year-old. The matter of fact is still the same, right? It just means that under certain circumstances, they did certain things. That doesn't mean in present day that that's okay. When we have means to not do that. Like, that doesn't make sense for you to continue to justify it in the current year where we don't have to fuck at 15 and have children. Like, it does, like, people bring up that argument. It's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense to say, therefore, in the current day, a 15-year-old can consent to having sex with a 30-year-old. It makes zero sense. And it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating to see people try to defend that, try to clap that on, try to pretend there's such thing as magic soil. So, yeah, in conclusion to that, kids are kids. They're still children, no matter what soil they're on. And kids shouldn't be having sex in general. That's my honest opinion. Like, I know that it's normal for teens to have sex with each other, right? But in my opinion, as someone who has the lived experience, the full scope lived experience, kids shouldn't be having sex, to be honest, in general. Like, if you have good parents, they will try their best within reasonable means to save your virginity, to save your chastity. Because if you're having sex, you have a chance of getting pregnant. You have a chance of having a kid. Like, do you, like, even if you're pro-choice, like, do you really want to put a kid through that? Like, do you think a kid can consent to a decision like that? Either way, like, it's not something you want to put children through. It's not something you want to put kids through. So generally speaking, I don't even think children should be having sex even with each other. But it really is a whole nother level when you're trying to say that adults can have sex with children. Especially when we're talking about 13, 14, 15-year-olds. It's not even an edge case. It's not even like, oh, they're 17 years old and 364 days. And even then, we morally know that, like, what you're trying to do when you do that. We know. Let's not pretend like the law rules over morality. Some of the laws made are based on our morality, but it does not dictate what is moral or immoral. If something is legal or illegal, it can still be moral or immoral independent of that. So it's still creepy if a guy was with a 17-year-old that's 364 days old and he's like 30 years old. We know what the fuck you're doing. So don't try it. Because you know damn well what that age gap does, how valuable lived experience is, and how you can run laps around someone who's that young. We have that much of an age gap. And you can manipulate them into doing anything you want. Especially if they come from a bad background and don't have parents helping them. Speaking from experience of being orphaned at 16. Atlas Gaming 4.99 super chat. Thank you. Totally. In my honest opinion, no one under 30 understands how to have good sex. You know, some people in their 20s are like, will still struggle with it. No, but like children in general should not be having sex, especially in the modern day. Matt tipped $5. Found this Eliza Blue interview with Hotep Jesus. Check around 45-40. That mark might interest you. 45-40. I have a few clips from that live stream. It's still up. Okay, I think this is it. It's still up. So that is 45-40. Let's quickly look at this. By the way, thank you guys for helping me out with gathering the receipts and everything like that.
Come out. Why don't we just rip off the Band-Aid for the story, and then the credentials will come out? How about that?
All right, let's do it.
All right. Sorry, Hotep. Can't control yay. So So I was
watch her try to privacy strike this too, like even though it's not even on her channel, just like the other one wasn't.
I was groomed at age 15. I was homeschooled first and foremost, which is a little bit why I'm so socially awkward, right? But I was homeschooled, so I was homeschooled on the farm by my parents, and you know, my parents gave me this awesome upbringing, but they didn't really teach me how the world really was. So I kind of thought everybody was nice and a good person. And
then she said, and that gives me the right to copy strike everyone. The end.
So that sort of gave me a little bit of an off footing. You get what I'm saying? Like, so already I had sort of an unrealistic view of the way that the world was.
Very naive.
And yeah, very naive. I mean, I still have these tendencies, you know, that's why I can be friends with jerks like you. And it's like cool, because like I still see everybody as being good.
Yeah, so the thing is, guys, she wasn't 15 in those music videos. She was like 30 something.
So he's like, delete.
Just acting up.
You love it, bro. It's better than sitting here all crying. Like, I'm sure the people are probably like, thank God we're not crying our way through this. But yeah, no, I was groomed at age 15. The concert, I was, you know, sexually assaulted.
Concert? Oh, so is she saying that what was it, My Chemical Romance are the ones who groomed her? Is that what she's insinuating?
Assaulted by the person that trafficked me later on at age 16 in Los Angeles. And I was offered a bogus modeling deal in Los Angeles. You know, people said they wanted to make me a star, and I believed them.
We're going to go into that in a second, her whole $500 story.
So because I was homeschooled, I was able to move out of the home very early. And I moved to Los Angeles, and I was almost trafficked immediately. I was sex trafficked immediately. They were really good at grooming. Grooming is that pre-game sort of thing where they're trying to fill you out. And because I was sort of vulnerable, because I thought everybody was a good person, I was a perfect target. And
she was in her 20s by the time she's showing My Chemical Romance. Yeah, none of the timelines are adding up. Like, I don't even recall her saying 15 for the first one. Like, she's 41. So it's still not really adding up.
I was sex trafficked, and then I got out of the life, which was awesome. But unfortunately, like a lot of survivors, because that initial trauma was there, I went back, and I had a heck of a time getting out. The second time getting out was pretty much life or death. And to be honest,
and so to cover her trail, she said, let me just say everything was non-consensual.
I'm so grateful every day, Deb. Like, literally, the fact that I'm alive, like, literally, I know this is going to sound crazy or, like, corny.
All right, I already saw that part before. But, yeah, that's her official story. The Defango threads down. I'm sure there's archives of it, of going over those timelines. But we did that, like, I don't know, like 5 streams ago. But, we'll hear a little bit more about that timeline in a second. I have my receipts here. Her last tweet is straight mental. I thought oh yeah, so basically she had locked her account, and the timing of it was very interesting as well. Where is it? Here it is. She locked her account 2 hours after this article came out. I think this is a Daily Beast article. Her friends aren't buying her trafficking story. 2 hours later, locks her account. It is interesting timing for her to do that. She's claiming it's to test this theory that a locked account gets more reach amongst your own followers, but it was pretty short. Oh, it's within 1 hour. Sorry, I saw 4 and a 6, and I assumed 2. It's actually within like an hour, less than 2 hours. Her locking up that story. So that's an interesting timeline right there. And a lot more came out about her as well. So this is an interesting part. I don't know if anybody has covered this yet. Maybe I missed it, guys. Let me know if someone else already covered this. But according to this account, Grifting, well, to put it simply, they claim that Eliza allegedly had relations with a 17-year-old. So that might have something to do with her whole stance of children can consent with adults under certain situations. You know, this might have something to do with that. So let's go ahead and go through this. He says, so I'm assuming it's a he. So here's an interesting thread about Eliza Blue. I want to preface for legal TOS reasons that everything expressed in the start is alleged. I have my due diligence to verify everything, but should I be presented with compelling evidence, I will retract. Let's meet Christopher Finch. He was a young man in Naperville, Illinois. Christopher lives with Asperger's syndrome, as you can see in the local news article. Okay, so we have someone who has to deal with something mentally. So the reason I want to bring that up is that would, in my opinion, affect someone's ability to consent. Like, if you have something you're dealing with, like autism, it doesn't mean you're dumb, or if you're dealing with certain mental things going on that could affect your judgment, that can affect consent, in my opinion. So that's interesting. So then, after he's in that local news article, well, on a magical night of July 2013, Chris spent a magical night with one Eliza Bleu. He posted about it on Instagram later that night. Tonight, I want to dedicate this night to a lovely young woman named Miss Eliza Bleu, who I met at Whitney Young High. Why was she at a fucking high school? Does he have the full screenshot of this caption? Because I would love to see it. Is this guy's account? Hold on. Let me see if I can find this really quick. Oh, right. We have to be logged in on the computer. Shit. If someone could do me a favor, can you check for this post and send me the full description here? I didn't have time to do it before stream, but I want to know what she was doing at a fucking high school, because that's what I'm assuming that says high ... high school. What was she doing at a high school? Shouldn't she be at like a parent-teacher conference at this point in her life? So he's posting on Instagram that he had a lovely night with a young lady. I like how you threw that in there. Young lady Eliza Bleu, when she's like, not that 30 is old, but like that he's throwing it in there with the fact that she's 30. But there's something a little wrong with the situation. You see, Chris was only 17 at this time. As you can see, he celebrated his 18th birthday in December of that year. Note the dates at the bottom of the post. Happy 18th, Christopher. That is very strange, guys. Okay, I'm going to put it this way. If your 17-year-old daughter was hanging out with a guy who was like 30 years old and having a magical night with them, would you guys let that fly? She was 32 at the time, because it was in 2013. And it was after she had started her advocacy work. She was 32, according to this post. He was 17. July 13th, 2013, he spends the night with her. December 24th, 2013, he turns 18. So why is that? Why is a survivor advocate having magical nights with 17-year-olds, and why are they hanging around a high school? Like, what's going on there? So I'm just saying, guys, I know the whole like South Park meme of like nice or whatever, but just take into account if a guy was hanging around a 17-year-old like this, it would not, that's 30 years old, it would not look good. A 30-year-old man hanging around a 17-year-old, having magical nights with them, hanging around a high school. This comes across to me as predatory. And also, this gives more context for this, which we had brought up before. As you can see, Felicia Killings helped fund Eliza. And this woman actually gave a confession and had relations allegedly with a 16-year-old boy. So it's interesting that she takes money off of people like that who are doing things like that. So yeah, I thought that was interesting in regard to her whole spiel about consent, and sometimes children can consent with adults. And that whole thing, it's like, why would you be trying so hard to bring that point home? Why would you focus on it so hard? Well, now we have a theory as to why that might be. So, we can go all day being like, guys, but actually the magic soil said that 17's... Okay, but we morally know that this is creepy. We know that there's something wrong with a 32-year-old woman who's going around spending nights with 17-year-old men, allegedly. Men, quotations, because people will use that argument that 17 is like, oh, it's a blur, but it's still creepy. You're 17, you're in high school, and you have this 32-year-old woman. She wants to talk about she was groomed. She wants to talk about consent. Like in the Hotep Jesus episode, how she was groomed. Shouldn't she know about that? Shouldn't she know how it looks? Even if nothing happened, should she not know how it looks for her, a 32-year-old woman, having magical nights with 17-year-old high school boys? Shouldn't she know better? At 32, I would think so. 32-year-olds I know don't do that shit. Why is that? And why is she accepting money from someone who had relations allegedly with a 16-year-old? The charges were brought up, but then she had a settlement for it based on what I read. This Felicia person she got money from. So look who she's hanging around. Look at the talking points she focuses on. Why is that? It's very strange. So I wonder if Tim Pool's journalist Shane will bring that up or ask about it. I hope he did, because I have very low confidence in this Shane person. I don't know much about him. But what I do know is that Shane, which is Tim Pool's journalist that he sent out apparently to get the scoop, but the journalist was already out there with Eliza prior, so it just happened to be that all this happened during that time period, it seems. So Tim says he sent him out there. I think it's just a coincidence, in my personal opinion. You guys can do the dates and add it up if you want. But the guy's name that works under Tim Pool is Shane Cashman. And I do know that he was on this episode with Eliza. And Eliza can be seen kissing his ass for 1 minute and 15 seconds straight. So here you go.
Shane Cashman. I'm at Shane Cashman everywhere. You can go on timcast.com and check out the Inverted World stories and the recent stories I've been doing, and working on some new ones right now. And Eliza, grateful for your work and awesome to be here with you.
I love you so much, Shane.
Oh, thanks.
I'm like your
Appreciate
biggest
that.
fan.
Thank you for supporting me so much online.
I love you so much. I think you have a creative mind. And I told Shane one time, I said, I firmly believe that I had this feeling in my gut. I said, I need to ask Shane to take my picture and write an article because I have a feeling his work will end up being Warhol-esque in a way where it's...
But thank you.
I'm serious.
Thank you.
I don't know how else to...
So you can see it's just, we're 38 seconds in, and it's still going.
Articulate it, but I think you're really gifted and very talented, and I'm grateful.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. Right on. Yeah, we got something in the works.
Yeah, we're going to do a thing.
Yeah, it's going to be
know
awesome.
what I think would be...
Hi, Lila. Lila's in the chat. Thank you, Lila. She's been helping to promoting Free Brittany. Venti on Twitter. Thank you, Lila, for being here.
Be really cool, and I know you're trying to end the show, but I've had this vision a little bit of you coming out to the farm and really seeing what my day-to-day life is like.
That's the goal.
It's totally different than this glam version.
Yeah, that's the goal. I love doing stories like that where I can just kind of...
Do you have any overalls? Do you have any boots?
Yeah.
So they're talking about him going to her place and possibly doing something back here. This is on her Tim Pool episode. This is before the Eliza Blue gate stuff happening and the Eliza Blue files. This is before she got my account locked on Twitter. So it seems to me that he was already going out there and, you know, getting friendly with her and everything. And she's like on him nonstop. Like, oh, Shane, you're like basically Andy Warhol. And, you know, his like rainbow dicks he draws. I would love to see your rainbow cock at my farm. Oh, and Teehee, you could bring your wife too.
I love doing stories like that where I can just kind of...
Do you have any overalls? Do you have any boots?
Yeah.
Do you have any slash
From my past
boots?
life on a farm where I grew up.
Word.
Yeah.
Do you like cats?
I've got two.
Okay.
I'm excited.
And you can bring your wife.
Perfect. Yeah, that'd be great.
I was excited to hear from...
Just FYI. Like, that wasn't a...
Oh, she caught herself, though. She caught herself. She's like, "Ooh, I was drooling over his rainbow dick a little too much there. You could bring your wife too." So, yeah, you can see she's slobbering all over his schlong in that interview, and it's about 1 hour and 35 minutes here, as you can see. Sean posted the clip, and who's streaming, by the way? You guys should go check out his streams. But anyway, he says, "Why so secretive if this is an innocent trip? You're flirting with a guy on Timcast and had to add you can bring your wife." Yeah, it's like the fact he had to add it. His wife apparently showed up, but I still have questions about what is going on, especially after what Adam Krigler said a few weeks ago. And that was in regard to like that Lydia was being intimate, according to Adam Krigler, with Tim Pool, and Tim had a girlfriend. It was a whole thing that Adam did a stream on, in case you guys don't know the context for that. And here's the tweet. I wasn't going to say anything about Shane Cashman spending a few days with me. Really? Why not? Really interesting. But the information was made public, so here we are. Sounds like she didn't want that to come out. Interesting. January is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month. It's a busy time for survivors. So you should be free then, Eliza. Advocates and others in the movement. I was busy, Stan. Busy with what? Tweeting? Because you certainly don't come across as a survivor to me or anyone else who's seen through your lies constantly. And even if the guys, even at this point, if she was exploited at some point in her adolescence, at some point, somewhere, in some way, it doesn't excuse any of the behavior going on. It doesn't excuse her deplatforming people. It doesn't excuse these privacy complaints people are receiving. Yellow Flash was in chat saying that who just got struck with one? Who just got struck with one? Let me scroll up. Because I was in the middle of talking when I saw that. Where'd it go? The quartering. Yeah, the quartering. The quartering got issued a privacy complaint too now. So, I'm for the free press. I'll die on the hill of the free press over here. Eliza Blue is over here not allowing people who cover the news to cover the news, I guess. Assuming, again, that it's her. Fair assumption to assume it's her. But again, we will see. She took down everything else, so seems to be a pattern. ASD assessed $9.99 super chat. Brittany, the grifter got you so pissed she's throwing you off your game. Take a breath. She spent no time and raised no money that benefit anyone. Prove that and she's toast. We'll get to that. And I think there's been enough exposing a lot of things about her between her timelines being off, between her claiming she doesn't have enough money for Wi-Fi and then, creates several GoFundMes and she still can't afford Wi-Fi after that because one of the GoFundMes is to go on vacation. You would think you might want to afford Wi-Fi before you go on vacation as a trafficking advocate. You need Wi-Fi to do your job. No, that's how she presents it because, she has to manipulate and lie by omission by being like, I have no Wi-Fi, but she's clearly on Ethernet because she has to frame things to be manipulative so that you feel bad for her. And we're going to go into her whole housing thing, too, in a second. Her so-called charity, her charitable means. But from what we see so far, it really just does seem like a grift. And in regard to Shane, Tim Pool's journalist, not having a bias in writing the article, I have my doubts. I really do have my doubts. As he says here, Eliza is one of the kindest, most fearless, and hardest working people out there. Oh yeah, she sure is. She's working people, right? She's working people to Cash App her, like Hotep G's. She's working people. She's on that grift. She's on that hustler mode. She's a hustler. I've admired her and her work for a long time. Yeah, it must be really hard to click buttons to take down people's accounts, right? That must be a lot of work. Must burn a lot of calories doing that. I'll try that. I'll try that with my new diet. See if I lose any weight. And I'm honored by this tweet. Thank you so much, Eliza Blue. And we also heard her claim of Twitter taking down CP and how that seems to not fully be the case either because of she claims that using a system to do it that doesn't actually seem to work. I'm not going to get into it right now. But it's being covered. Let me pull up the name for it. I forgot. I'm eating Dove chocolate. It's really good. I like Dove chocolate because it has very little ingredients in it. And it's really good. Oh yeah, I think it was called Open Secret. That's what it was. Here it is. Let me send this to myself to show you guys what I'm talking about. Thank you, Nick V and MZ, for the $4.99 super chat. They're in the same pool because of Cassandra being friends with Eliza Blue. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up really quick. here it is. An open secret. So I haven't gotten a chance to extensively dive into this, but it is interesting. People are finally waking up to Eliza Blue Morthland, and we exposed Eliza for lying repeatedly about a widely used method of detecting CSAM, child banging abuse material, which we'll open that up and take a look at that. I think Eliza's account, I think, is still locked, by the way, which is why we can't see the quote tweet here. You have falsely claimed for months that Apple's proposed CSAM, so child banging, touching material detection is scanning. It would use on-device hash matching, which is totally different. Please don't spread disinformation if you don't understand the technology. From Apple's white paper, instead of scanning images in the cloud, the system performs on-device matching using a database of known CSAM image hashes, so, you know, CP material, provided by NCMEC and other child safety organizations. And they give the link right there. And you can see that it's explained here on Apple's website. So she's claiming that a technology used to help fighting, that would be used to help fight explicit material of children being on Twitter, is helping, but apparently it's not, and it's inaccurate according to an open secret. Apple's proposed CSAM detection system would be used on device hash matching. Apple does not learn anything about images that do not match known CSAM database. And this is a screenshot from Apple's website. The proposed threshold for Apple to check what you have would be 30 matches to NCMEC. I know it's a lot of acronyms, guys. Hashes known as CSAM, again, child explicit material. Apple can't access metadata or visual derivatives from match CSAM images, child explicit images, until a threshold of matches is exceeded for an iCloud Photos account. So, intelligent people equal do real research equal read white paper first equal informed opinion. Ignorant lazy people equal having opinions without doing research. Please be intelligent. In a nutshell, Apple's proposed CSAM detection system, so for explicit child images, uses on-device hash matching to determine that a device doesn't have what it's not supposed to, CSAM, without knowing what is actually on the device otherwise. So that's the TLDR of Eliza claiming to get material off of Twitter using that technology that isn't equipped to actually do what she's saying it does, according to an open secret. So in terms of like her fake advocacy, that would go into that bin for the person who super chatted about that. Let me go ahead and catch up on a few super chats as well, because I saw a big one here. David Setliff, Wow FM, $50 super chat. I think the war chest is about to get open and you're probably going to need this. Go get her. Thank you. Yeah, especially guys, if she does anything to my YouTube channel, I 100% will be taking legal action. 1000%. And I won't be the only one either. All my friends are getting struck too. And it's unfair. It's abusing the fair use system. It's abusing, once again, a system, another system meant to protect individuals, to protect victims. And this is absolutely horrendous and hypocritical, assuming it's Eliza doing it on YouTube. We know on Twitter that she took things down. So 100%, we're all going to come together and take legal action. Obviously, if our YouTube channels are going to be affected, we're all YouTubers. This is our work. Like, it was already like everyone's leaning toward it before. Now, if you're affecting YouTube channels, you're going to have like 10 people suing your ass. Like, what other option do you have but to defend yourself? You can't just let people beat on you and make you into their victim. So she's you know, this has been a straw that the straw that broke the camel's back. $3 from Bob. Thank you. How is it possible that someone grew up on a farm talks like a Wu-Tang Clan accent? She's like cosplaying or something. You know, she has to play a character. That's her character. She's the character of a video vixen. And now she's the character of a trafficked video vixen. Maybe Tim Pool will pay for her defense. He's already been running it for her anyway. Well, here's the thing, Yellow Flash. Cassandra Fairbanks McDonald, his booker, accused me as someone who also kind of represents Tim Pool, right? She's writing, I'm assuming she's writing for him and booking for him. I know for a fact she's his booker. And she said on her Twitter that I was sexually harassing Eliza. Okay? So, because his employees are trying to drag people into this too. Okay, she's working for Tim and spouting libel about me. It's a very serious accusation to say I'm sexually harassing someone, especially given my body of work. So, yeah, that's the interesting part in terms of like legalities. Bob, $3. How is it possible? Oh yeah, I read that one. Dave, $5 super chat. Is there any accountability she faces filing these false claims to YouTube without having to sue her? Like I said, I think that if you're going to actively try to abuse a system to take accounts down, you shouldn't be platformed because that's not free speech. Taking away other people's speech is not free speech. I never took away someone's speech in regard to like Eliza, like, oh, I took away her speech, I took away her privacy. I never did that. We established that. I never did that. So she, however, took away other people's speech. That's not free speech. John Wick, £5. Please don't share this message. Oops. Patrick T, $1.99. Eliza is doing a Rose McGowan impression now. Who's Rose McGowan? Christopher Gore of $9.99 super chat. Hail Brittler. Hashtag free Brittany Venti 1,000 times over the past 2 weeks has given me carpal tunnel, but I can't abide censorship or mean girls who kick people when they can't fight back. Thank you. Thank you for your service. You know, unlike Eliza, who's over here having a victim stolen valor, seems like. Atlas Gaming, $4.99 super chat. Totally, in my honest opinion, no one under 30. Oh yeah, I read that one earlier. Joseph Magil, $10 super chat. You deserve more, but I'm on a budget. Yeah, you know, inflation's tough. But thank you. She was in Charmed and was a big Me Too pusher. You know, there's actually, speaking of going back into older days with her, there's actually some interesting tweets between her and Tim Pool that I'll pull up in a second. The pagan conservative $5 super chat. Eliza is mad she's been exposed as a liar and is now in damage control mode. Yeah, that's pretty much the impression we have. Griffcast IRL $2 super chat. We got privacy claims for Eliza Blue videos. Okay, so everyone's getting them. We now have like, I don't know, like 7 different YouTubers who have been getting them. Trent Ronzer, $2 super chat. I'm still locked out. My tweet was harassment quotations. Yeah, anything's harassment if you cry hard enough, I guess. You know, there actually are cases of victims and harassment, but this is not one of them. Okay. Oh, sorry, phone. I don't know how it got there. I like specifically moved it over here before stream. But here's the thing. While your guys' ears are recovering from that. She is the one who's harassing everyone else. That's the funny part. Getting these privacy complaints, all of us getting them for a public video that was up for 6 years. That's fucking harassment. Deplatforming over something that you don't want up there, even though it was perfectly legal and consensual. That's fucking harassment. That's the ironic part. She's the one doing the fucking harassing around here. Ted Skowronek, $2, $5 super chat. Can I copy strike you for reading this? Apparently everything is just, nothing is fair use anymore. Everything everything online that's public is actually private if you want it to be. It's actually private if you decide it is. So, that's the precedent we have now on Twitter. Voice of People, super chat $5. Age of consent doesn't matter. Federal law says 18. Federal law supersedes state law. If parents want to charge, doesn't matter, state law. Thank you for sharing. You know nothing, John Snowden, $5. Eliza is the kind of person who voluntarily moves to a commune, and then when that ATF raid happens, uses her 15 minutes. S'mores, $5. What Eliza said about consent is vile and sick. Here in Finland, we sadly just passed a trans law where a 15-year-old can change their gender without consulting a doctor 1 time per year. Under 15 can do it with the parental permission. Crazy clown world. Yeah, these are like medical things you need to go through, but it's like no doctor needed. But okay, but I need to go to a doctor for my fucking tretinoin? But I need to go get a prescription for tretinoin. Okay. Wow. Monkeyhead 15, $5 super chat. At this rate, the people who are going to be on Twitter are... The only people who are going to be on Twitter are Eliza, Elon, and this Twitter employee she has in her back pocket. Yeah, L. Irwin, who's fighting the good fight for Eliza. Patrick T, 199 super chat. Google McGowan's current photo, same stylist. McGowan current photos. Current photos. Let's see what this is about. Oh, it's like the Eliza Blue style. The short hair with the cheekbones and everything. Yeah, it definitely is a similar look. I wonder if they're the same Keeb's body type. I don't know. Her angles are a little harsher, though. Her bones pop out a little bit more. Do you need money for food? I heard you were hungry. Yeah, I'm as much of a starving child in Africa as Eliza is needing money for Wi-Fi. After all, it is Black History Month, so if you guys want to feed a hungry African woman, she's right here. Magic Squid, $10 super chat. Thank you for helping expose Eliza Blue for the scammer she apparently is. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Dan Holland, £5. The picture of Eliza that the Hill used in their thumbnail looks like trans Milo Yiannopoulos. Wait, let me see this. The Hill Eliza Blue. It's like she also had to just take that name. She can't have anything like from her own creativity. Oh, yeah, you know what? I see it. I see it's the glasses with the short frosty hair. I totally see what you mean. But that's honestly that's even rude to Milo. Like, do you know how Milo would feel if you told him that he looked like Eliza Blue? He would be like, he would probably faint he would faint and gay, okay? He would not appreciate that. Like, you know how, because like guys, different people faint differently. Like, okay, if you're a 1940s woman, you faint like this, right? Like, right? But if you're like a 2021 gay man, you faint like this, like, and you do the little drop leg thing. It's like a little bit different style of fainting, you know? It's a different flavor of fainting. What is it called? What is it called when drag queens do that? Like the dead drop? Here it is. Here it is. This. Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna mute it. But like that. This is how you faint in gay. Like that's how you would do it. Which is pretty impressive, by the way. That actually does take a lot of skill to do that. You have to be insanely athletic to do these things. Okay, let me make sure I'm caught up, and we're gonna go on to the main points as well, the other main points. I went through some of them, but there's still more. But wait, there's more. Where were we? Super chat, $5 from Miss C. She just did something, reported Star Wars girl. Okay, let me go on Anna's Twitter really quick. and bring this up on screen, because this is all happening in real time. Eliza just tweeted saying she's standing here in love if people change their mind. Oh, really? See, this is all just happening in real time. It's hard to keep track of everything. Let me see this. Okay. So this is Anna's Twitter. Oh, okay. So she got a privacy complaint. They gave her the video on timestamp, which Anna, all she did was cover the same thing. The same topic I did, and then show a couple of other things, but it wasn't the material. The actual visual material of Eliza was the same as what I showed. So yeah, this is the timestamp of what she showed. Damn, in Anna's case, it's not even the video. It's the thumbnail of the video. This is ridiculous. Yo, Anna, throw me in there too with this tweet, because. Throw everyone in there. Throw in everyone who got this privacy complaint. I'm just saying me because, like, I can't tweet. And I guess if Yellow Flash got struck too, then Yellow Flash, I don't know if you got privacy complaint yet. Did you? Quartering got it. But go to Quartering or Anna's or mine. I'm RT everyone. This is crazy that Anna got struck with a privacy complaint for not even showing literally showing Eliza Blue's left tit gets you taken down on YouTube now. Free speech? Hello? You can't show Eliza's left cleavage tit without getting taken down on YouTube. Or at least attempted to. Wild. Cannot believe the extent. It's like even the 3 pixels of her fucking cleavage gets taken down. Okay. The cleavage that she put out there. With the intent of trying to make it go viral. Cheryl Meme 1999 super chat. I just sent you a DM you may want to read. I can't read DMs on Twitter. My account is locked. I'm also new here. Can you give me an overview about why you're supportive for victims of trafficking? Thank you. I got into the topic of human trafficking in my research about being anti-porn, because I learned that the porn industry is fueled by a lot of trafficking, and there's a lot of reasons I'm against porn. I don't want to like get too much into it, but in order to actually have good arguments, you do need to look into prostitution as well as trafficking, because they're all interlinked and feed into each other. And a lot of girls do get groomed into doing these things. And then as soon as they turn 18, some cases under 18, they go and do it. Usually they're from poor backgrounds, like not just financially, but also from bad homes that aren't really functional. They'll have mental issues, and a lot of those boys and girls can get trafficked, and the porn industry makes a lot of money off of that. So that's why I got into it, basically. And I think porn is destroying intimacy among people. I think it's not helping people have healthy households at all. And we want a society with happy and healthy people, then we need to have happy and healthy children. We're not going to have that in single parent households, in abusive households, or in households where it's getting broken down. And a lot of marriages are ruined by porn. And I think porn has been a detriment to romance. It's been a detriment for a lot of households. And it preys on a lot of victims that it preys on people who are very exploitable. It preys on people who may not know better because they come from bad backgrounds. So yeah, I made a lot of content on it. Maybe I'll start on it again after this. This is kind of like re-sparked that urge to talk about the topic, because I talked about it a lot like a year ago or so. But yeah, I'm very passionate about the topic, and it really bothers me how defensive some people get. It's like, yeah, you can, if you partake in consuming it because that's what you've been doing your whole life, then that's you. But just acknowledge that it's bad and it's not good for you, and that it does cause a lot of harm in the world. Like, you can drink soda, right? You know it's bad for you, you drink it, right? I'm not saying that you should consume underage content at all, obviously. I'm talking about like 18 plus, but yeah, a lot of it does have non-consensual content. But people like Eliza make it hard to explain that because they're like, oh, well, now it's just another Eliza Blue. How do you know they're not just saying it was non-consent like Eliza did? So she's actually undoing a lot of the progress we've been making in that regard in terms of spreading awareness for how porn is made, where it comes from, you know, where are you getting your livestock from, so to speak, and what are the effects it has on our society, the addicts that can't stop watching it, and how it affects how men even see women in terms of their first sexual experience. It's not actually with a person, it's usually with what they see in porn. And a lot of porn is very graphic, it's very violent, it's very gross and vile. You know, there's a lot of different categories out there of like brutal, non-consensual, like consent, non-consensual stuff. Like I've seen on certain parts of the internet, like even Reddit, where they have these subreddits of, you know, drawings and things like that of little girls getting cut up and then like, you know, jerking to it. So it's not making people develop healthy sexual desires, and I think it's just a net negative on society. I don't really think it's good for anything, in my personal opinion. But yeah, that's how I started researching more into the trafficking aspect and prostitution. So, and by the way, guys, if you look at the most common porn categories, you will be disturbed in a lot of cases. One of the biggest ones is like teen, right? So there's a reason Pornhub had to remove 80% of their content. So it's not a happy sunshine industry. Maybe some individuals are happy they're doing it. They think they're happy doing it, whatever. But I don't know. I feel like here's the thing, like if someone supports it, they should just like, I don't know, like there's some cases where people support it and they don't do it themselves. And if that's the case, we have to ask why that is. Like there's something about it that's off, that's putting you off, right? There's something about it that puts people off, right? You don't want your daughter doing it. So we need to kind of explore that and why that is. If it truly is a good thing, why is it that you don't want to do it, or like your daughter does, you don't want your daughter to do it, things like that. That's what you have to think about if it truly is such a good thing. So there's a lot to tackle with it, but I hope that answer suffices. I think it's pretty degrading too overall, really sends the wrong message about connecting with sexuality, especially when so much of it is so degrading and actually has caused men to be violent toward women. Believe it or not, there actually is data for that. And before someone says causation, correlation, no, there's data for that too. In the state where they allowed it versus didn't, and it was a natural experiment, and it went to show that it did cause more violence. And I mean, which country was it that weaponized it to make people make the other country be lazy and not fight back? Wasn't it like, was it Israel? Sorry, I'm a little rusty because like I haven't gone over all this information in a while, but it's wild how powerful porn is in terms of manipulation. Cassius Cleo, $20 super chat. As a struggling porn addict, I appreciate your hard work and calling stuff out. Months after quitting, I want nothing more than a family, and I've never been happier. It's an evil industry. Yeah, I don't think it's a healthy industry that supports anything good. I think pretty much the only bad things come out of it. So that's my observations. All right, so anyway. So as we know, Eliza's story, people have been questioning, it got validated by this woman, Eve's Angels, the person who owns it. And she got sued by her own family for accusing them of trafficking. And the theory is it's because she wanted to get money out of her grandparents, I believe is the shortest summary you could give. But here is a video from Frank, Chrissy Meira's fiance. Don't lose track of her queen in this current grift happening. Eliza's credited Annie of rescuing her. Meanwhile, Annie conveniently needs a roof replaced that will cost as much as what her parents are suing her for. This is happening right now.
Until yesterday. I'm sitting here and I hear a boom. So I come outside and the roof fell off. What? I believe in miracles.
Let's see. $50,000 of damage, huh?
I need you guys to help me with this miracle. We need to all come together, raise this money, and get this mess fixed. Go to Eve's.
Okay. We need to all get together and pay for a roof over my head, literally.
Angels.org. It's end of year giving. All your money.
So you're telling me she runs this organization for helping victims, which we've seen no sort of result from. We haven't heard anyone who actually being helped aside from Eliza claiming it by this woman who literally got sued by her family for telling a trafficking story for that amount, for $40,000 approximately. We went through the documentation last stream. So this woman, who just like Eliza, we don't have much to show for what she's done, to our knowledge, is saying that she, who's running the organization to help other trafficking victims, needs you to pay for her roof, which apparently is just like a gutter. It looks like a gutter's just detached. Doesn't really look like the roof is broken. And she needs your money to literally pay for a roof over her head. What does that sound familiar? Oh yeah, that's right. Eliza Blue saying she needs money for Wi-Fi, doing 2 different fundraisers to go on fucking vacation, and then still can't afford the Wi-Fi when she's literally on internet. She's on Ethernet, but has to phrase in a way that's manipulative and omits the details so you feel bad for her. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's almost like birds of the same feather flock together, huh? Her asking for money, Eliza begging for money, them claiming, oh, it's to help the victims, but it's actually for themselves, and they're e-begging for it.
Your money that you donate is tax deductible. We're a 501c3.
Yeah, so she's literally using her charity to pay for her personal bills. How is this legal? How is that legal? Isn't this supposed to be helping trafficking victims, and you're using it for your roof repair that doesn't even look like it's damaged? Are you for real? How is this not a scam? How is this legal? And this is the person that's backing up Eliza Blue's trafficking story? And I'm supposed to buy that. We're all supposed to just eat that up, right? It's not, it's fraud. Yeah, it looks like fraud to me. What's going on there? This is trafficking stolen valor, is what this is. And it's disgraceful to claim that you help victims and then step on their backs to get ahead. Over and over. It just never ends with these people. So to answer the question earlier about like prove it's a grift, like I don't know what to tell you at this point. If you don't see it, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you can't tell that this is trafficking stolen valor, there's no helping you unless you see a doctor for your brain to be fixed. But yeah, like literally this lady who's supposed to back Eliza's story asking for money through the charity as a tax write-off to help her roof. Like that's called fraud. That's called fraud. And then, you know, we have these, I'm going to play the clip of Eliza also e-begging for money just so we can compare here of them doing the same thing, the same tactics.
I'm gonna get abused through this whole interview.
This is trafficking right here. Hope that Jesus is about to rake in on these super chats and give Eliza $0.
That's not true.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
I'll send over I'll text you my Cash App. Cash App $ElizaBleu. He's like
50% of pro.
All right, and literally midstream, Yellow Flash also got hit with the privacy complaint. So there you guys go. I accidentally manifested that. Sorry about that. But yeah, just everyone's getting struck with a privacy complaint, presumably by Eliza.
He's like
50% of proceeds tonight go to Eliza Blue. You send 50% of all super chats will go to Eliza Blue tonight to help human trafficking victims and to raise awareness.
Human trafficking victim that's going to help is me, and I'm a human trafficking survivor. But let me tell you what it can help buy.
Let me tell you what it can help buy. A new roof.
Number one, I don't have internet at home. Number two,
she doesn't have internet at home, even though she's gonna fundraise later and still claim I have an old phone, I'm modest, ooh, I don't even have a new phone. That was her latest one. She said in her award accepting ceremony video, by the way, is where she talks about one of many instances where she talks about I can't even afford a phone, ooh, I'm so modest, I just help victims, ooh. But yeah,
number
she's just
one,
gonna
I
pocket
don't have internet at home. Number two, I wasn't set up for this year, so I don't have a computer at home. Hotep Jesus knows this. Number three, I borrowed this beautiful light that's giving me this look from my barber.
Wow.
So help your girl out. I was not set up for this year. I was not planning on being a public survivor, but if you want me to be a content creator and keep doing interviews like I am today with Hotep Jesus and the other interviews I have coming up, and if you want me to be good, help.
If you want me to keep grifting, give me money, gives me that money. So yeah, sounds familiar. It makes sense that her and Eve's Angels are friends.
Help a sister out.
And speaking of which, speaking of her begging for money, like her friend who's backing her story here, Quartering released a Eliza Blue files, and it actually went into that a little bit, so let's tap into that here. Okay. On March 29, 2020, Eliza Blue announced to the internet she had opened a home for trafficking victims called Humanity House. The only issue about this is the so-called Humanity House was, well, like most things, looks like a complete lie. March 9th of 2020, just 20 days before the announced opening of the safe house, she appears to be fundraising. As usual, something doesn't add up. And it's a bunch of tweets of her talking about the safe house for trans survivors of human trafficking. She was just looking for any buzzword to throw in there, huh? Yeah, Nerdrotic. Hey, what's up? You're going to be next if you put her name in the title. Everyone's getting hit with a privacy complaint. Do you feel FOMO? Do you feel FOMO of not having a threat against your YouTube channel? Here she is saying that she'll use the money to finish the safe house on her farm for survivors of trafficking. So her family owns that farm, I believe. That she also, I think, resides on. In July 2020, Eliza Blue proudly proclaimed she started a private charity, an 8-bedroom safe house. This is on the farm, presumably. Then she claims the Humanity House is located on 550 acres, a massive cost she's pretending she paid for. Spoiler alert, she did not. If any extremely wealthy people want to fall off the grid until C19 is passed, I'll rent you the extra house on the farm. 550 acres, no neighbors for miles. Just to sweeten the deal, all proceeds will go to turning the house into a safe house for survivors of human trafficking. So, as you can see here, many people are speculating this is her father's farm based on the publicly available biography. Unless you want to believe someone who crowdfunded $1,600 to go on vacation also owns millions in farmland. So, it is strange that she has to beg on the internet for money when she's living on like 400 acres of farmland, supposedly. It's all very strange. But yeah, you know, somehow she can't afford Wi-Fi. even though she needs it for her work. She can't afford a new phone. She's on an old phone, ooh. She's just a normal person. She's so modest. She's so modest and humble. She spends all her time and money on the victims, guys. I don't know how that's possible when she spends so much time striking down people's accounts, but somehow she does it. Somehow she helps 60 people, 60 cases online, as she claimed, all while doing this. A great day's work. You know, she's supposed to be using her time to help victims, and she's spending her time, taking down people's Twitter accounts, now allegedly filing privacy complaints to anyone who even covers her. Yeah, freedom of press, she'll die on that hill until it's about her. Where have we heard that tune before? Harold P, $10. Let's be real. This bitch wore a tiara in an interview about sex trafficking. Yeah, the Michael Malice one. The fact that they didn't set off alarm bells in these YouTubers and other heads is an issue. It's obvious that she is, and will always be a hoe. Way too trusting. Well, she doesn't want to be seen that way. That's why it's easier to say, oh, no, it's non-consensual. Again, really a disservice for the people where it is that case. Daddy Omega, $5 super chat. You need to make a parody Wish video, Vixen music video. Yeah, it would be funny. And she'll probably try to take that down too. Steve Orange's $2 super chat. Is Elon doing it with Eliza? I'm out of the loop. So Elon Musk actually unfollowed Eliza Blue, for those of you that don't know. Jacob Rotten, $5 New Zealand dollars. Eliza sure talks a lot in Ebonics despite her using the N-word. Megan Madique Brown again, $50. Cheers, BM. Thank you. Joseph Brown, $2 super chat. Jeremy just dropped the lawyer meeting for Friday. Trent Ronzer, $5 Canadian dollars. I'm not deleting my tweet. Gonna stay locked down till the report is canceled. I don't care. I'm not accepting no thanks. It's sensitive material. It's harassment. Yeah, that's what I'm currently doing too. I don't want to give leeway. I don't want to have her have any sort of ground for legalities when she's using the system, abusing the system to her own benefit. Also, in regards to that person saying, well, prove that she's not doing shit. Well, let's watch more of her really quickly. Let's watch a little bit more of this.
So my suggestion would be, if you have the ability, reach out to the human trafficking hotline. The human trafficking hotline is in my bio on Twitter. My Twitter is @Eliza Blue, or you can Google the human trafficking hotline. It'll pop right up.
Yeah, so Google the trafficking hotline.
The human trafficking
Eliza, help! I'm being trafficked.
Hotline is
help yourself. Don't you know what Google is, bitch? Eliza, I'm literally being fucking abducted. Don't you know what Google is? Like, imagine you're like at like a truck stop and you're trying to find a way, and then she's just like, yeah, spend an extra 20 seconds Googling it. But anyway, like, it's really dumb. Like, yeah, it's unlikely that someone who's being trafficked is watching that stream, but also, if you're going to be an advocate, as she is, where it's her entire grift, you can't go and tell people follow your Twitter for the trafficking hotline. It's in terrible taste. It's very selfish. And then there's this one.
So my suggestion would be, if you have the ability, reach out to the human trafficking hotline. The human trafficking hotline is in my bio on Twitter.
Yeah, which it's not anymore, by the way. We checked on that. She removed it. So she made it even harder to find that. Blair White's preparing a video. Good. This is right up Blair's alley. Blair should cover it. She'll tell it how it is. And in case you guys are wondering, I wonder how Eliza's replies are ever since she locked her account. Well, I actually have the archive for that for us to take a look at. So I was curious too, but here it is. You can't view the tweet because she locked her account, but here's the replies. Is there anyone even left that believes a word you say? Damn, you're 40? Well, all it needs is just one page. Hi, Eliza, I'm a big fat liar in red ink for clarity purposes. You should call your boyfriend Elon to help you out. He closed the door on that real quick. Stop following a few people as well. Interesting that. Who else did he unfollow? Does anyone know? All of this seems to be stuff and pre-negotiate. I guess I'll wait till the article comes out. We already have a real hit piece. No need for a Shane Cashman puff piece to talk her up. So people are... So this tweet is in regard to her and Shane staying together. Because he's writing an article on her. Tim Pool's reporter that we talked about earlier. So yeah, you know, she's just getting ratioed endlessly in her replies. What topic are you going to lie about next? The Daily Beast did a good enough job. And that's interesting, right? Because the Daily Beast has like a left-leaning bias and they were able to cover it more. It's like, what is happening? Like, some people still won't cover it. So here's actually an important part of the Daily Beast article I actually wanted to go over. And it's the most recent, biggest update about this situation. So in the article, it actually says, around 2016, Wenzel claims that Blue asked her to join an escort, promising Wenzel, her friend, could make $500 in a night, an offer that stunned Wenzel and her husband. She was absolutely loving it, Wenzel said. She was bragging about it. She was saying that it's making her so much money. Blue later suggested that sex workers with a pimp might qualify as trafficking victims. Oh yeah, you know, anything's trafficking if you fucking squeeze your eyes narrow enough, huh? Look, with mine, I could definitely make anything trafficking if I wanted it. But though Wenzel said she didn't meet any pimp or trafficker when she socialized with Blue, be it an unnamed high-profile athlete or otherwise. So it looks like Eliza was a free agent here, according to this friend. She's a very powerful, very smart, intelligent woman. I will not discredit her for that, Wenzel said. She knows exactly what she's doing. Yeah, and exactly what she's doing here is something she would call trafficking. This is something Eliza Blue would call trafficking. Oh, $500 a night? Where do we remember that number from, guys? Oh, yeah. Her story she told about how when she went to LA when she was 16 or whatever other age she threw out there, that she got trafficked for $500. Yeah, it's not looking like it's looking like that same $500 was offered to another girl to get her into prostituting herself by Eliza Blue. No pimp needed. So as Escorting says here, Eliza Blue was Ghislaine Maxwell. So I was sold for $500, I guess, is according to this article, off doing the same thing that she claims is trafficking, but to other people, to other girls. So who even knows if this is the only one that this happened to? Assuming that she's telling the truth, of course. But the whole article is right here. Yeah, here it is, the 500. I quote, I was sold for $500 to a very old gentleman in the hills, Blue said in 2020 interview. We all saw her talk about this multiple times. Eliza claims to be trafficked for $500, then turns around to Wenzel, according to this article, a girl, and offers her $500 in a night to make her prostitute herself. So, you know, why would Eliza offer that? Why would you try to get other women to prostitute themselves? Unless you're making money off of it, of course. Right? So, not only is she allegedly trafficking girls, according to her own definition, right? But also, she is potentially making money off of it, because what other recruitment incentive is there? You know, it's very strange. And also the fact that she's supposed to be representing Tate's victims and advocating for them? With this? Are you kidding me? You're doing them no favors. Even if they are telling the truth, you're doing them no favors, Eliza. Yeah, I guess we get a trafficking affiliate link. It reminds me back in the day, OnlyFans, they had that affiliate link. And so these girls, mostly girls, some guys are on OnlyFans too, but these women would go on YouTube and solicit OnlyFans, online prostitution, in unage restricted videos on YouTube. Like, click my affiliate link. And then the BBC reported that OnlyFans had actually allowed fake IDs or people who borrowed IDs through. So you have children watching these videos, potentially clicking those links, joining OnlyFans because they're being sold, wow, it's so good. All I have to do is flash my pussy and get $100 for it. Meanwhile, the reality of it statistically is that 90% of, last time I checked, of the people there make under Walmart wages. So they were allowing that. You know, that was the case. People were posting their affiliate link and lying about what they do and saying how great it is and how there's no downside and how it's worth it and how you could buy anything you've ever wanted if you just click their OnlyFans affiliate link and become a prostitute like them. So, yeah, this is what that's reminding me of. Her shilling her prostitution to another person, like, oh, look how much money you could make. You can make so much money if you do what I do. And it's like the crab bucket thing. It's like you have to drag other people down with you. It's fucking disgusting. And this is one of the reasons why I'm anti-porn. Shit like this. You know, everyone tries to separate the sex from the sex work, but you can't. And we all need to face that fucking reality. You can't. It's still prostitution. Call it art all you want, or as Eliza did, call it modeling. Try to dissociate from it all you want. It still is what it is, which is prostitution. You're selling sex. You're having a transaction involved monetarily with sex to make the other person finish. Okay? Very clear. This is not an art museum. People are going to your OnlyFans to do what you agreed to. They're paying you. It is prostitution. The end. So this is disgusting, and this is what we were speculating about. And so to me, it's not that surprising. It's not that surprising because Eliza Blue was so defensive about all of this, you know, taking everyone down, censoring people, even though she's a free speech advocate, according to her Twitter, and will die on the hill of free speech. We have that tweet up on one of the past live streams. And come to find out, she herself is taking away people's freedom. Do you know what they call, and again, this is what she considers trafficking. So she literally is doing what she would consider trafficking according to this article. So she's doing something. Escorting is the same thing as prostitution, by the way. If you actually read about it, the same streetwalkers, they also work at escorting agencies. It's the same women. It's streetwalking. So they're doing the same thing. It's the same women who are street hookers. Eliza is basically a fucking street hooker, according to this article. I theorized this because, like, what else? Like, you're clearly hiding something if you're that defensive. You're taking everyone down who's talking about it. It's very strange. And clearly the theory has some weight to it after going through this part of the article of her escorting pass, allegedly. I theorized that was the case. It seemed like case. She had every check mark for it, calling it a booking, $150,000 booking, and like her saying we when she was being interviewed by that pink girl, saying we prostitutes. She's like, yeah, we didn't have a word for it. She admitted that she had sex for money in that clip. So we put the pieces together, and we figured, yeah, if it sounds like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And then this just really puts another nail in the coffin. Now, could they be lying? Sure. But there's a lot of evidence to show that it would support this. A lot. That we've gone through the past 2 weeks. So, she's trying to take other people's freedom away by getting them into escorting. She's prostituting herself. It's prostitution. It's the same thing as streetwalking. Streetwalking, prostitutes are in the escort business. Monday, they're on the street. Tuesday, they're escorting business. Okay, there's no high quality pussy. It's a lie. It's a lie for marketing. And she's getting the women, or woman, in, according to this article, probably more than one, I would imagine, if you have an incentive to do it, which I would imagine would be monetarily. And she's getting them to do something what a lot of prostitutes would call paid grape. And a lot of them call it that for a reason. You think they're fucking studs that they want to have sex with? No, they're not. They're fucking guys. They're fucking ugly undesirables, for the most part. Like on a lucky day, they're not, but for the most part, it's the undesirables. Do you think women enjoy that? Like, guys, would you enjoy having sex with an obese, smelly woman who's ugly? No, you would not. You would not enjoy it unless you were extremely desperate. Which is how a lot of people get into prostitution. It's because they're desperate or they're trafficked. So she's basically restricting someone else's freedom by making them do something that a lot of prostitutes call paid rape, right? Because they're having sex with people they don't really want to have sex with. They're doing it because they have no other choice or they were coerced, manipulated into it. And she's supposed to be a trafficking advocate? Meanwhile, she contributed to the problem, according to this article. It sounds like to me, in my personal opinion, I think that this is the case. And I thought that this was the case before this article came out. So that's why I think it's the case. This just puts another nail in the coffin for me. So this is really hypocritical of an anti-trafficking advocate. This is very hypocritical of someone who is pro-freedom, pro-free speech. This prostitution is the opposite of freedom. It's literally the opposite. It's literally sexual enslavement. You're doing it because you have no other fucking choice. 90% of the time. Most people, vast majority of people would not do it. And you can't compare it to other jobs because you're not having to have your intimacy used for it, your sexual intimacy used to that extent. Where as you age, you lose value versus other jobs is not the case. This is not the same as every other job. It runs on exploitation. So she shilled something that runs on exploitation to another woman who could have easily ended up escorting, who could have easily ended up getting prostituted and not even knowing like the consequences of what that entails because she's just shilling it to her because why not? She's Eliza Blue. She's getting her benefit off of it, whether it was her making a cut of it, getting this girl prostituting herself, or if it was just because she wanted to crab bucket her and drag her down with her. It's fucked up. Eliza Blue should be ashamed of herself. Eliza Blue has absolutely no shame. None. We have seen that through everything we went through today. We have seen it the past 2 weeks. Does this woman have a soul? I wonder. Because someone who has empathy doesn't do things like this. And it's not just one-off thing. It's over and over and over. Like, this is a vapid, soulless person who doesn't give a fuck about anyone. And they certainly should not be an anti-human trafficking advocate. She's just doing literal victim stolen valor to get ahead. And taking down people around her who want to talk about it, like myself, like Quartering, like Anna, that Star Wars girl, like Yellow Flash, like all the other people I'm not mentioning that have been affected by her. Because there's so many people at this point, I can't fucking list them all. Begging for money. I can't believe that this woman is the one begging for money on the internet. Crying that she's a victim. She's a professional victim. She's an advocate. Yeah. Meanwhile, apparently advocating for you to sell your ass to strangers. To ugly, dirty strangers. It's like the Snickers commercial, you're not you when you're hungry. It's making me mad, I gotta eat. But yeah, that's pretty much the update on this Cloud Goblin. And that's what I've gathered so far. Oh, also, to update you guys, my History Americans. She deleted tweets. That was another part of the update. Eliza is deleting tweets. We don't know which ones yet because she locked her account. But Quartering points out the number could be much higher because it's a net number. So -8 can mean she deleted 10 and tweeted twice, etc. So she's deleting a lot of tweets, potentially. You know, damage control. And there is an interesting thread that I did want to go through, actually, in regard to, it involves Quartering too, but the main focus I think is Tim Pool, because you guys know she was on Tim Pool like a month ago. Sorry, I had to get my chocolate down. Okay, so this thread. I have great news, everyone. Brittany told me in Discord chat she'll be giving half the super chats to helping the trafficking victim Eliza Blue. You're so generous, Brittany. Oh yeah. Apparently her Wi-Fi must be made of fucking gold. We gotta fundraise her like $1,000, $1,000 more dollars for her to get some Wi-Fi or a new phone. The phone will be like $5,000. Ted Skovranek, too, $5 super chat. On Clint interview, she said she was one of the few advocates that had been arrested before, and she went on about understanding exploiters. Oh, really? I would imagine if someone knows a lot about themselves, that would be expected. But yeah, there's this thread that I wanted to go through. I like skimmed over it, but I didn't really go in depth about it. So this was apparently May 21st in response to Eliza Blue. By the way, Missy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Let me make sure I'm caught up on these really quick. King TL, $2 super chat. Can you still agree on our date? They know it's okay. Fuck off. Guys, you would be pissed. You would be annoyed too if people were just constantly like trying to be fucking stalkerish and be like strangely kind of rapey. Like, oh, you're gonna go on a date with me, right? Like literal anonymous person on the internet, and they keep spamming you about like, we're gonna go on a date, right? Right. It's like fucking creepy. Manage 42 199 super chat. Wish you the best. Hope you get back soon. Thank you. Matt $5. I already read that one. $2 super chat from Ted. I'm just gonna call you Ted Skovranek. Oh, it's Skovranek, or is it Skov? Yeah, Skovranek. Okay, got it. I'm gonna fuck it up again. Okay. I need to take a sip of water. This is too much for me. My stomach hurts also. My stomach hurts a lot. I don't know why. Okay. Get your drinks and snacks ready. This is going to be a long read. Well, yes. There are many let's read the Eliza one first. I posted the little girl's part and the pimping out my girlfriend part and asked a question. Oh, Eliza, you like asking questions on Twitter? Oh, that's really interesting because when I tried to do that, you fucking locked my account. That's really interesting. Continuing. And then he said, the Quartering said to her, well, yes. There were many in conservative circles who are very quiet and still are, but what it's really disillusioned me about some folks, people work with that guy, people funnel their unexpected fans and hard-earned money to him. Crickets. I don't know who this is in regard to. Maybe Quartering can clarify. And Eliza responded to Quartering, well, imagine asking a survivor of human trafficking to delete a tweet when all I do all day is post about this stuff. I was trying to see if circles are a safe environment for myself and others. Quartering says, now you know. And Eliza says, yes, I do. Thank you for the gesundheit. I always say, like, bless you at my head when someone burps. Anyway, Eliza says, I posted a little girl's part pimping out my girlfriend part and asked a question. Multiple individuals asked me to delete, and 2 have since apologized. So they were asking her to delete a tweet. Oh, isn't that familiar? Oh, you asked a question and then you were asked to delete a tweet? Where have I heard that one before? Everyone cheers me on until I tweet about someone on their political team. Never sits right. I'll keep doing me because I'm not part of any political team. Oh, how times have changed. Epstein was able to thrive because everyone was afraid to call it out. This happened prior to the swatting. Do you want me to hold folks accountable or play nice with clicks? And this is in response, Eliza's responding to a tweet that says, and yet you put Timcast on blast for not having an Epstein survivor on his show during the same time he was being actively swatted. Okay, so she was mad at Tim Pool for not having an Epstein survivor. So I guess she's mad at Tim Pool for not calling it out more. And she's saying multiple individuals of this political team, I guess, YouTubers or something, asked her to delete tweets. She literally announced her political affiliation of a Liberty Lockdown, on Liberty Lockdown. Yeah, she was like, I'm like so ANCAP. Like consent laws? Pfft. Like, I bet the ANCAPs are so mad watching that shit. Like, you bitch. Like, now the ANCAPs are gonna be known as, like, the predator team because of Eliza. They're like, they're gonna have to like disavow Eliza, but like that's kind of the ironic part. If your ANCAP is like, you can you really disavow someone? Because it's supposed to be like the Wild West, right? Anyway, swatting and Jack Murphy. I never suggest another survivor go into that environment. What I am discussing happened prior to those 2 factors. Okay, that's about him getting swatted. After those 2 specific factors, I'll never go on again, and I wouldn't suggest another survivor going into that environment. If they did go on, I would promote that specific show. Okay, so that's interesting. So in 2022 of May, so 1 year ago, she was saying, she's talking about Timcast here, I'm pretty sure, because she mentioned Tim Pool before. So she went on like last month. So what's this about? She went on like last month. What changed her mind about that? She's saying like her and no survivor should go on Timcast. Because look, here's a tweet of her saying, back to Timcast, I don't appreciate you turning down FC Maxwell's survivor during the trial. She's like calling him out. Adam privately offered me to have the survivor of Epstein Maxwell on. To be clear, Adam's a real one. We can get it. Oh, she mentions Jack Murphy here. So she knows about him, and yet she's playing the same steps he did. Down to the whole using Christianity as a shield after the fact. We can get into Jack Murphy if you want to. Didn't sit right. All of you became fully exposed when you begged me to delete my tweet. I remember. This is tough love. Oh, interesting. What an interesting development that just a year ago, less than a year ago, Eliza Blue was sitting out here talking about she's going to call people out and she doesn't like when people tell her to delete tweets. But, you know, less than a year later, oh, how things have changed, how the turntables have turned. Do you want me to act like that didn't happen? You asked a survivor of human trafficking to delete innocuous tweet. Oh, you mean like how I had to be told to, I haven't deleted it yet. My tweet got deleted by Twitter. Okay, you still can't see it, even though I didn't delete it. I'm still locked out. She's over here talking about, oh, I'm a human survivor. I'm a survivor of human trafficking. I will not delete my innocuous tweets. But I need to delete mine for you, Eliza? When it was fully consensual? When you have several videos and content and blogs talking about how much you loved being in that video and how you chased the guy down to put you on the World Star Hip Hop video? Oh, wow. This is gold. This aged like fucking rotten milk. This is kefir. This is rotten kefir. Left out to dry. Of course she knows all these people. She's studying how to grift like they did. Yeah, apparently she learned. Conservative Inc. has some explaining to do for that one. Anyone who asked me to delete my tweet has explaining to do or an apology if not already applicable. Well, here comes the entitlement. No, but, like, yeah, she should stand her ground if she truly feels that way, that they didn't do a victim justice. But But her attitude seems to have just completely 180 considering recent events. That is so funny, though. The context of Eliza literally was in my position, and she didn't like it. She didn't like it when she got treated that way, but then she turned around and does the same thing. Sounds like a bully to me. Sounds like a, you know, okay, you guys know how when predators get touched, or like when they're, like some people when they get touched non-consensually, and then they like grow up, and then they sometimes will touch other people non-consensually, repeating the cycle. That's what this reminds me of. It's like a repeating the cycle of like, she was bullied, in her perspective at least. She felt like she couldn't speak up, and she didn't want to delete her tweets when she called something out in regard to trafficking. But now the shoe's on the other foot. Now she has to be the bully and do that. And she has to put someone else in that position that she didn't like being in, that she called out. Interesting. Had no problem collecting clicks off of trauma, but wouldn't interview a survivor. There is no answer. He wasn't alone. He's amongst many. So here's Eliza calling out certain political groups and affiliations for not speaking up on certain things. Oh, how that turned out. Now it's in regard to her that certain people won't speak up about things. And it's funny that she's trashing Tim Pool during all of this too. Then it's not real news, is it? It's comfortable news. Where's this Eliza? Where's Eliza from May 21st, 2022? Now she doesn't like that uncomfortable news. Literally what all woke people do, it's only the problem when we are in power. Yeah, she does have woke logic for sure. I agree. Eliza was found guilty on... Eliza says she was found guilty on multiple charges. He had no problem putting behind the paywall with the title. Title? She spelled... Did she mean T-I-T-L-E? This is that Ebonics coming out. I guess Eliza was celebrating Black History Month a little early here. Let's call it for what it is. Clickbait off of trauma. And this is in regard to Tim Pool. He has a paywall platform. He put me on it to speak. She wrote it twice. Yeah, so she's not letting him up on this. She was pressing on him to cover what she wanted him to cover, right? But now, on the Eliza Blue thing, everyone has to also basically do this in regard to him covering that story. Or lack thereof. Again, we went over the journalist thing that he sent a journalist out. I have not been contacted by Shane, by the way. In case anyone's wondering on the updates, here are the updates really quick before I continue in this thread. I sent another appeal through Twitter's new system of appeals. This is my third time appealing. I am still locked out of my account on Twitter. And to my knowledge, Shane, the journalist that's supposed to be investigating the situation from Tim Pool, who obviously does have a little bit of a bias toward Eliza that we looked at before, which is why I have low expectations of a fair story. But he, to my knowledge, has not contacted me. To my knowledge, I asked Jeremy, the quartering, if he contacted him. He said no. So, seems to be a pretty one-sided story so far. Maybe he'll reach out after. I don't know. But he was already spending time with her prior, and it seemed kind of personal in the clip of them, like, you guys can rewind the stream, but she was, like, sucking his ass dry. It's not looking good. It's not looking very unbiased. But anyway, why did Tim Cass turn down an interview with an Epstein Maxwell survivor? She posted a tweet of Tim Pool here that says Hollywood covered for Weinstein, media cover for Epstein, and you're surprised celebrities are celebrating Rosenbaum. Stop believing you share the same values. She's using that against him that he tweeted that. She says, it was an exclusive interview. She stared her abuser in the face for the first time in years. She is already a public survivor leader. Why would anyone not give this brave survivor an opportunity to speak? Never sat right. We can go over the receipts. I'm only loyal to the survivors I serve. In this case, I was serving this survivor. So she's mad Tim Pool did not platform this person. Liza says, I'm not playing with you right-wing media outlets who turned down the FC Maxwell survivor interview during the Maxwell trial. I'm coming after every single one of you by name. Zero loyalty to any of you. Just channeling a little bit of Liza Cuts here. I have loyalty to Survivor. All you ever wanted was to collect clicks off of trauma and not do the interview. Never sat right. Oh, it's funny. Eliza's calling out the grifters. Interesting turn of events here. I think it's about time to expose every network and media outlet that turned down interview with FC Maxwell survivor during the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Lots to talk about here. The outlets had no problem collecting clicks off trauma, but didn't want to speak to survivor, didn't sit right with her. She kept the receipts. And so that's what Cordwing was quote tweeting about. Was that thread. Okay. So that clarified that. I don't know what this one is. It says, like this one on the left. So this person's quoting Eliza Blue, and they said, she thinks I work for Vice still, LOL. And Eliza tweets, what? Let's unpack this tweet. I'm not anti-porn. I'm not for abolishing Section 230. I'm not an AI or AL grift. It's already been used on this platform. This picture was taken at Tim Pool's house when I crashed their site due to signups. Okay, so on the right here, let me move. It's like it's censored, but this person says, so it's the same person as on the left. Did Eliza Blue's meeting with Jack and or his minions re anti-porn CSA Section 230 work out, or did they pass over your AIL grift? You guys know at Get Mo Life / Defunko, Bucko, Defango, Manuel. Oh, the Defango's mentioned here, I think. But yeah, this is the photo they're referring to here. So apparently she had a meeting with the former Twitter CEO. I don't know if that's him here, if that's what they're inferring. But yeah, that was an interesting thread to go through, considering she completely flip-flopped. And I don't think anybody's covered that. And she used to not like Tim Pool and called him out and was really mad at him and said, I will never go on again. I will never have my survivors go on again. No survivor should ever go on Tim Pool's platform again. And then here she is like a month ago on Timcast. It's wild. Well, literally taking credit for Tim's success. Well, you know, grifter's gonna grift. Ren Wesley, $5 super chat. Do you think she's convinced herself that she was trafficked, therefore in her mind she's not lying? Well, she said, and I quote, I was trafficked in my mind. I was chained in my mind. She said, I'm paraphrasing, but she said it was like in her mind. I was like, that's an interesting way to word that. Very interesting way. So it's interesting how cyclical it is with the whole Jack Murphy thing. And her being a Christian, her mentioning Jack Murphy and being aware of it, and her being mad at Tim Pool for not covering a story. And now this is a story about Eliza that Tim is kind of dodgy about covering. And then the journalist he sent out has some sort of like, they have like a thing, it looks like some sort of like flirty thing. I don't know if it's on Shane's end so much, but you know, he said how much he likes Eliza earlier in the thread, like over here. For a reminder, for those of you that missed this at the first half of the stream. This is Shane saying, Eliza's one of the kindest, most fearless, and hardest working people out there. Because, yeah, long day's work, striking people. So over here is Eliza saying that she's Christian. Yeah, oh, here she is name dropping, yay. She's like, I love Jesus Christ, and he loves me back. I used to be afraid to say that in public, but I'm not afraid anymore. Wow, Eliza, so brave. Stunning and brave. Stunning and brave. This is from recently. This is a somewhat recent tweet, like in the past week, I believe. So, yeah, she's saying, I was so scared to say I love Jesus, because, you know, it's not like there's totally an entire community for that online. Especially among conservatives. But she goes on to say, I'm going to say this last thing in my heart. You know, in case you were trying to get her for being Christian, you know, in case you were trying to attack her like the wolves that you are, pouncing her from all the way up there, pouncing all the way up there on her fucking pedestal, she has to say one last thing, okay? Because it's weighing heavy on her heart. Gravity's really intense up there. If you're trying to get me out of the way to pull down Elon Musk, or get me to stop being a survivor advocate, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not budging. I'm going to stand right here. You can move me. And I like how she says that within minutes of talking about collabing with Kanye. It's like, yeah, where your head is at, it's very clear. But yeah, she tries to turn this whole thing of her causing all of this, her doing this to herself. She's the only person that she's a victim of is herself. Eliza is a victim of her own shitty actions. Eliza has made herself her victim. Eliza, I didn't do this to you. Chrissy Mayer didn't do this to you. The Quartering didn't do this to you. Yellow Flash didn't do this to you. Defangle didn't do this to you. You did this to you. You fucked up your own timelines. You didn't watch where your tracks were, and you didn't follow them properly, and you didn't keep up your story. You are the one who put all your information out there in public. This is not doxing. It was not, oh, someone's searching. No. You bragged about being in music videos. It's on you, Eliza. You did all of this. All this didn't have to happen. You did this, Eliza, to yourself. The only person you're a victim of is yourself, Eliza Blue. So she wants to be like, if you're out here trying to get me to pull down Elon and I'm a survivor advocate, she always has to say that every fucking time. She's not going nowhere. Like, as if she's not going anywhere, okay? The haters, you're not going to make me go away. Like, as if, like, this professional victim is acting as if the world is against her because she's the victim. Because she's a survivor advocate, right? You did this to yourself. It's not the wolves pouncing. You ran around with steak all over your fucking ass, fucking shaking it in the desert, and then complaining when you go and take rocks and throw them at the animals, and then you're claiming you're claiming you're the victim when you're the one throwing the fucking rocks, running around with the fucking steaks on your ass, flapping them in the fucking wind for all of world hip hop to see. World star hip hop. No, you're not. You're actually not the victim. Who's the victim is everyone you've taken down because of your bullshit, actually, which is funny enough, ironic enough. But for me personally, I don't want to be Eliza's victim. So that's why I keep speaking up on it, and I keep defending everyone involved. And I think that everyone should keep the efforts going because this is a serious issue. Twitter, as of right now, still has this exploit. My account is still locked, okay? Other people's accounts are still locked. So this problem has not been solved. And it can happen again, where someone decides that they don't like you, so they are going to either file a privacy notice or get your account taken down, whether it's on Twitter or YouTube. But especially on Twitter, because she had involvement with the trust and safety staff. The head of trust and safety tweeting about the situation very vaguely and then being like, we can't comment on it. Oh, but like the individual, like, will you take it down when certain paperwork's filed? It's like, what paperwork? I never received the copyright notice in regard to Twitter. I received a privacy complaint on YouTube. I never received legal paperwork on Twitter. So I don't know what Ella Irwin from Trust and Safety is fucking talking about in regard to this. Because if Elia filed the proper paperwork, why have I not seen it? Don't I have a right to know my fucking accuser, so to speak? Don't I have a fucking legal right to know what the fuck is going on? Especially when the right paperwork was filed, according to Ella Irwin, when it was very obvious she's talking about this situation. Head of Trust and Safety. So, you know, I get my account taken down. I can't log in my Twitter account because I'm locked out unless I delete tweet, which I'm not going to do. I'm not deleting the tweet. I'm not going to give her room for winning legally because she wants to threaten legalities. Now we're all getting privacy complaints on YouTube, our livelihood. No, that made me Okay, there was like a little bit of like just maybe delete the tweet and you got your Twitter back. Now after today, the privacy complaints? Oh no, it's gone. It's gone. You think you're stubborn, Eliza? You met your fucking match. So, she wants to be out here acting like the wolves are out to get her when she's the one throwing rocks. No one's gonna buy it. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend you're a victim. I don't care. I don't give a fuck at this point if she was like gangbanged 10 fucking times at this point. And this is coming from me, someone who's into the topic of trafficking and anti-porn and everything. At this point, for what she did, causing, not only abusing the system that's supposed to help other victims, climbing off of the back of victims to get on your fucking pedestal, making GoFundMes, taking everyone's money, taking Hotep Jesus' money from his fans, going around e-begging, pretending you don't have this, you don't have that, hustling your way through the fucking ranks on Twitter and on YouTube. Honestly, at this point, you took advantage of so many people, so many victims, so many resources used to help these victims. At this point, I don't give a fuck if she was gangbanged 10 times. She does not have a right to do this. She does not have a right to take away other people's freedom as a fucking freedom advocate, as a anti-human trafficking advocate. You're supposed to be for freedom, right? That's why you're mad. Your victims don't have freedom, right? But oh, no. That suddenly changes. That suddenly changes if you talk about her. Psychotic. I honestly, at this point, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if something happened in her past. No. This doesn't give you the right to do that. Even though we've gone through the evidence over and over and over, and we see like everything she says is pretty much bullshit and falls flat, and every person, even the person who vouched for her, is like apparently a fucking, I don't want to use the word, but like someone who's using their charity to get money for themselves. The person vouching you is doing that and getting sued by their own family for claiming they trafficked. And the family is winning the $40,000, and now she needs to cover the funds by talking about her roof needs to be repaired. Eve's Angels. Yeah. Your story's not backed by anything. It's not backed by anyone. You're vague about it. She's dodgy on every podcast about it. It's disgusting. The whole thing is just it's fucking disgusting. So honestly, at this point, guys, even if there's a 0.1% chance that she's even telling half of a truth of her going through something abusive, like her going through like some sort of exploitation, at this point, with her striking everyone, I don't give a fuck. And I don't think anyone else here should either. When she's used so many victims and their resources for her own gain, selfishly, fucking over every victim who has a similar story to this, who actually was coerced and manipulated and thrown into this, into prostitution, or thrown into being sexually exploited. You have now damaged any sort of, like, this is our society. We were already like a low trust society. After Eliza Blue in regards to trafficking, we are now at a fucking bottom. We are at the pit bottom of having a high trust society. She has collectively, single-handedly, lowered the trust of society. So no, I don't give a shit, actually. I don't give a shit. You have made me not give a shit. Now victims that are going to come out, they're going to get called Eliza Blues. You were coerced into it? Oh, well, guess what? You're an Eliza Blue now. So, thanks for nothing, Eliza. You have helped nobody except for your fucking self. Just like her GoFundMe to go on vacation. That's who she's interested in helping. Fuck her. That's from a sister on Black History Month. Voice of the People, $5 super chat. She's going even after small accounts now. Justin is lost, has less than 14.7K, and he got hit. Oh, she's got her old goon squad on it, huh? I'm assuming. She's got a goon squad on it. Bryn Wesley, $5 super chat. Do you think she's convinced herself? Oh, yeah, you read that one. Laughing Dog, $20. I didn't think a Venti-like woman was possible anymore. It's very impressive you serve the female kind very well. If there's extra wall laying around the border, let us know and we will come build it around you and throw some pew-pews in. Thank you. I still have a stomach ache. Why am I getting like such a bad stomach ache from eating this chocolate? I'm gonna check the ingredients. I mean, it has artificial flavor. It might be that. I don't know. Cheryl, meme 9.99 super chat. I sent the message via your website. I hope you'll read it. Thank you. You need princess water? Yeah, apparently. It might be like gas. I don't know. B&T $2 super check. Will you please check out my little Etsy Brit? I don't know. Is it cute? $2 Canadian from Trent Ronser. I had 12 followers, still reported. No fucking way. God, is this like Mean Girls? Like, raise your hand if you've been exploited by Eliza Blue, the trafficking advocate. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss any. $10 Canadian from Speaking Moistly. Go on Jack Show at Cecil. John Mellon, Kelsey Screw, and fuck off. Don't bring down Anna for no fucking reason. Anna is plenty hot. Plenty. She's got like more than enough. She's got enough to share with the whole class. Christopher Gore, $4.99 super chat. I said last year she gave me vibes beyond just drifted, but possibly sociopath. All signs are there. I agree. I see a lot of signs too. Spectral Citizen, $5. She always does sound happy every time someone tells her she has been sex trafficked. That is weird. Glenn Quack, $2 super chat. Did you click the URL of her Model Mayhem 100% escort? Yeah, we went over that. That's actually how I came to the conclusion of that before the article came out of her apparently getting other women into prostitution. Not a lizard person, $2. Eliza's going to be in the Mines Fest in Austin, Texas. Still? Coming into Texas? Magic Squid, $10 super chat. Eliza's definition of trafficking on Twitter is when someone diverts internet traffic away from a brand towards someone else's brand of trafficking. Literally. She's claimed that that was trafficking, her image being used to catfish guys. Trent Ronser, $2 Canadian super chat. Remember, she's an essential worker. I can't get over that she claimed to be one. Essential worker, huh? Yeah. What would we do without her ass cheeks flapping to win? What will we do without you, Eliza? Joseph Brown, $2 Canadian super chat. Jeremy just dropped the lawyer meeting for Friday. Hey, I'll be in talks with Quartering. Trent, I read that one. Lone Wolf 36S $5 super chat. That burp legit scared me. I took off my headphones and looked around the room thinking someone was here. We should have like a burp warning on stream. Like disclaimer. Not for like, you know how they'll have disclaimer for like not suitable for children. We need that, but for burping on stream. Grifting, $5 super chat. Love you, Brittany. I'm still in the fight. Just had to take a day off after my dental work. Just woke up. Oh yeah, that was me earlier in the week. I was like down for a while. Everyone's like, what happened? I'm like, I got stuck in an ice storm in Texas. V&T, $5 super chat. Yes, it is. Armstrong Custom Home. Oh my god, the stomach ache is getting worse. I don't know what I did. Literally, Eliza makes me sick to my stomach. Quite literally. The Pagan Conservative, $5 super chat. I would not be surprised if we find out later that Eliza is another Ghislaine Maxwell preying on trafficked women. Well, there you go. Went over that already. S'more, $2. Stop manifesting and start woman fisting. Patrick T, $4.99 super chat. Brittany, I'm an architect. Literally, that could be put back in place by anyone. It's just a separated downspout. I'll definitely fix it for $50K. She could have at least tried photoshopping the video, you know? The audacity. ASD assess $4.99 super chat. $50K, coincidentally the amount she owed her parents for lying on them and getting sued by her own parents. Yeah, exactly. Talking about Eve's Angels, the woman who runs that organization, she backed Eliza's claim of her being trafficked. So basically it's null and void. Matthew Katz's $5 super chat. Wayback Machine site has old tweets. Yeah, it does, but it doesn't mean every tweet's archived because we don't know which ones Eliza's deleting. Eliza's going to Minds Fest set up by Tim Pool and Ian. Oh, they set it up. That's interesting. Blair White is going. I'm sure Jeremy and Blair are probably going to tag team Tim. Well, Blair has always been reliable for speaking up on the truth, so. But yeah, wow, she's still going to go to that? What's the point of her going to that? She's not a free speech advocate, clearly. She's just lying about being one, like everything else in her life. Cassium Cleo, $20 super chat. Oh, you read that one. Dave Mayer's $10 super chat. Hey, Brittany, I've seen Chrissy and Anna, but this is my first week I've seen your work. Sorry, it wasn't under better circumstances. Welcome. Thank you. Cheryl Meme, $4.99 super chat. How do I send you the DM? Oh, I agree 100% about porn. If you guys want to email me, you can do so on my website, BrittanyVenti.com. Where you can also find the trafficking hotline if you go to my website. Imaginary Life, $5 super chat. I still don't understand what set her off after 2 weeks of this. Also, you're the best. Thank you. Because she's hiding something. Clearly. We're uncovering it. Jeremy and Tim have been talking to DMs as well. I've been talking to Jeremy about Kat. Oh yeah? What's going on? Do you mean Cassandra? What do you mean by Kat? Kat who? Let's see. Cheryl Meme, 1999 super chat. I just sent you a DM. You might. Oh, I already read that. I gave the overview for why I'm against trafficking. Ow, my stomach. Ow, I think I actually might have to like go take a Benadryl or something. I don't know what I ate. That's like, I've eaten this before. I've never had a reaction from it. What is going on? It's so bad. Like it feels like I ate corn. Oh my god. Ow. I'm literally a victim of the chocolate being trafficked to my stomach. $2 from S'more. That drop looks like Stolen Valor from Christina Million's Dip It Low in 2003. Women were doing that in clubs and hurting themselves back in the day. Oh, is that like an old move? I learned one from Eliza, the Bring It Around Town one from that one music video. It's like swinging her pussy in the air, like airing it out. B&T $5 super chat. You're dope, Brit, at Armstrong Custom Home on Etsy. Oh my god. I'm like trying to get through all the super chats. Magic Squid, $10. I think I read that one. Thank you for exposing Eliza. $1.99 super chat from Nick V and MZ. You would make great Velma from the Scooby-Doo. I feel like I'm, as much as people find me unlikable, I still can't match up to Mindy Kaling's Velma. Yeah, I don't think I can manage to be that unlikable. No, it doesn't say there's corn savor. The only sauce ingredient is like artificial flavor. It has soy in it. Maybe I'm allergic to soy. I don't know. It hurts so bad. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. I'm scrolling. Being allergic to soy is base. Oh, that makes me feel better. Thanks. Griff Cast IRL $2. We got privacy claims from Eliza Blue videos. Who hasn't at this point? Kryptonic G $10 super chat. The culture is appropriating chronic sufferer of Wigga Mortis needs to stop trying to hold the sister down. Love the content. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, my brother. Mahendra fan, $10 super chat. What is the difference in consequences of a 14-year-old to be with a 20-year-old versus another 14-year-old? Because the 20-year-old has life experience and can take advantage of the younger person. Also, the younger person being 14 can't consent to fucking someone that's that much older than them being 20 years old, because they don't understand that concept that they can do laps around them mentally and get them to do things that they wouldn't have done otherwise, manipulate them or abuse them. Also, what would a 20-year-old have in common with a 14-year-old? Ask yourself that. What's the 20-year-old doing with the 14-year-old? What's their agenda? Makes you wonder. Voice of the People, $5 super chat. She's just justifying her whore behavior as a kid doing overage guys. I wouldn't say a kid is a whore. Like, a kid doesn't know better. You can't just be like, oh, you're such a slut child. Like, it's the parents. 772 Hustle, $10 super chat. Venti going hard tonight. Can you play the Rocky theme? No, I'm not gonna get copy struck. And say, sue me, mofo, what? Put this toward your defense fund. I will start a legal fund for my vacation into retirement. No, like Eliza did. Fucking vacation GoFundMe. No, but if I need to do a fund for legal reasons, I'll consider doing it. Godzilla 2K26 $2 super chat. Never trust consumables. FDA isn't our friend. It's not the friend of my stomach right now. Peckerwood $2 super chat. YouTube's class action lawsuit coming soon. Missy $5 super chat. She just did something report. Oh, you read that one. Harold P. I read that one. Okay. I think I'm caught up. Wow, there was a lot of support tonight. Thank you guys. Oh, Spooky's meowing. He wants to go up. He wants to make my tummy feel better. You guys want to hear her purring? Can you hear it? Alright, I think I am caught up now. $50 super chat from Zek Nix just came in. Thank you. Just remember that Eliza has garnered favor with a few select in power in total trust and safety. Thus, that's where she's getting the most traction with her censorship, getting privacy notices without any current action speaks to the limit of her reach. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see if anyone's account actually gets taken down because of these privacy notices. We're assuming it's her. So, we have to wait and see. Because, again, like, it's not exactly... you can't just get accused by someone and not know who your accuser is. That's not how things work. So YouTube's going to have to fess up if they go through with this one and who is filing this. Isabel Live 2.0, $3 Canadian. Here, take a boy out for baby and coffee. Oh, you think you could think he likes coffee because he's black? Because coffee is black? You need to respect my brother here. It's Black History Month. Spooky loves black people. That's why he loves me. Right, Spooky? Chrissy's supposed to go to Minds Festival as well, so it's like a 3-on-1. Oh, I can't... If Chrissy is going, I could not wait for the jokes she would make. She's gonna get the zingers in, for sure. For sure. 100 from Brian J. Oh, really? Oh, Brian J, thank you for the $100. Brian J is now the king of the chat. I guess that, that's who the king of the chat is gonna be for this stream. But yeah, I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover today. There's one more thing here. I don't feel like going through the entire Daily Beast article. You guys can go read it. There's an archive of it if you want to see, but I just wanted to highlight that one part. I haven't gotten a chance to go through the whole thing. I saw some parts of it. But there is this blog that I wanted to bring up. It's an archive of it. I don't know if she took down the original, but it's her life of a video vixen. And, you know, she used to have an entire blog about this, about doing a clever hustle and being a video vixen and music videos. It's a hustle. And she documents about her life here, how successful she is. So, very interesting. Oh, and someone said earlier, I think Legal Mindset got a privacy notice too, right? Isabella Live 2.0, $3 Canadian. Hashtag Team Spooky. Thanks, Brian. Zeknick's $5 super chat. Should speak on Robert Barnes on this. He got some lawyer insight that you should know. Lots of good intel there. Yeah, maybe we should get an update, because Legal Mindset weighed in on Anna's channel. Maybe we should get an update on the legalities of this for stream at this point, because it's gone so far. Yeah, Legal Day, Yellow Flash, Fair and Balance. Oh my god. Pigeons $2 super chat. Thoughts on Chinese spy balloon? Is that like code for TikTok? But Nina, it's so funny. You sending me that screenshot of Amanda kind of started all this. So shout out to Nina for keeping me in the know when my Twitter got blocked. She sent me the screenshot for Amanda Jean, Eliza's bestie and apparently manager, who she pays for her GoFundMe trips for. She is friends with Eliza, we found out, because Nina sent me a screenshot of Amanda Jean claiming credit for taking down my account. So literally Nina sending me that screenshot led to all of this. That's what's crazy about this. So shout out to Nina. Check out her channel. Check out Lila's channel too, since she's still here. Everyone who's been affected, you know, we need to make a group effort and stay in communication about what's going on, because everyone's getting hit all at once. But yeah, Nina's a real one too. She really made all this happen. Like, if I didn't see that screenshot, nobody here in chat would have said, oh, that's Eliza's friend, and we would have never went down this rabbit hole. So literally this all started because Nina sent me the screenshot of Amanda Jean, Eliza's bestie, claiming credit for taking down my account. I would not have seen it otherwise, because I was locked out of Twitter. So, you know, thank you, Nina, for helping all of this, for helping us bring light to this situation and this absolute predatory grifter. Just Nova 1138 super chat. I never thought it was possible to meme trafficking thanks to EB. My friend was a victim, started her own nonprofit, and didn't have to exploit herself. Yeah, and didn't have to beg online like a fucking e-hobo for it either, huh? And then like for a vacation, she needs a vacation. I can't get over that. Like, she has no self-awareness. 772 Hustler $20 super chat. Did you know she was reaching out to people like Elon and Mr. Beast for money to start the Survivor? She claimed it all went to, shouldn't she be able to show proof the house exists and actual survivors have been helped? Yeah, but she's going to do the same thing that she did earlier, guys, where she's like, it's too traumatic. I can't talk about my story. Don't ask me any questions, even though I'm a survivor advocate and I'm supposed to tell my fucking story to do my job. It's like, shouldn't you be? Because here's the thing. It's like, if it's too traumatic for you to speak on, right? Don't be a survivor advocate then. Like, don't go around saying, I'm a survivor, and then not want to talk about your story. Like, it makes no fucking sense. Because if, guys, here's the actual tea. If she actually had these things happen to her, which clearly it's not looking like the case, but even if she had these things happen to her, if she's a survivor advocate, that means she's supposed to be in a place where she's been to enough therapy to confront this issue. It shouldn't be, oh, it's too traumatic, I'm not going to talk about it. You're a survivor advocate. You're supposed to be already ahead on that. You're supposed to have dealt with that issue of the, I can't talk about it because it's too traumatic. You're supposed to go through therapy. and work through it so that you can advocate for other survivors. It doesn't make sense. Literally makes zero sense. Other survivors, if you actually, there's actually a great video. I'm going to talk about this next stream, assuming Eliza doesn't do fucking something else, because every day is something new with this woman, as we saw throughout this entire stream. But there's a video about this woman getting trafficked by her husband. It was an actual case of it. And she just go 2 hours straight of talking. And she was so well spoken. I don't know how she did it. I swear I didn't even hear her say She just spoke without notes for 2 hours straight, perfectly giving her timeline, all these details about how her husband made her become a cam girl and threatened her against her will because she was being told, well, guess what? I will withhold our child from you, and use your diagnosis against you. And her husband's like, and you better start working on cam because this is my kink. And then she had to be trafficked. So she got trafficked by her husband. That's an actual case of that. And it was a really good listen. It was a 2-hour podcast. Maybe I'll go into it next stream because my stomach hurts way too much. I can't go into this stream. I've been talking almost 3 hours. And it really, watching that podcast episode really made me realize how much of a fucking con artist Eliza is. For her to not talk about her story, yet this person is like, yeah, and the only reason I'm able to talk about this is because I went to therapy and worked through these problems. That's what she said. She went to therapy. So she's able to talk about it and bring awareness to the topic through her own story. So one of the best ways to bring awareness to a topic is by giving an anecdotal evidence piece. It's very effective. Regardless if it's, oh, data this, data that. Guess what? Humans aren't logical creatures. We're emotional creatures. We live in we try to build society to be a logical place, but we're emotional creatures. So when people speak out from their perspective, from their story, it affects other people when it's authentic. And it resonates with people, and they sympathize, and they empathize. Eliza doesn't do that. She's not able to get that level of empathy because she's not authentic. So why is it that all these other survivors who work through their problems, they're able to talk about it, but she's not? She's supposed to be the advocate for them? Who are you? You can't even advocate for yourself. Unless it's to get Venmo'd money off of stream. And yes, Spooky is in my lap purring. Anyway. Hey! Spooky, you're going to make them think I'm trafficking you. I am not holding him against his will. I'm not holding him against his will. He's consenting. Anyway. Thank you guys for coming out to the stream. Really quick, I just want to show Tree's tweet with us. That's where I got the screen cap up. I saw it before, but I just want Spooky, chill out. Tree said Kanye is on the run from the cops because he has a battery warrant out for his arrest, and 2, you're an atheist. The reason why you never mention Jesus is because you don't believe he exists, just like you don't believe free speech exists. And it's true that someone who's not principled is just tending to be not principled in all the other areas too. Again, the micro is usually reflecting the macro image. So if she's inconsistent and unprincipled in one area, probably is the case for the other areas. 772 Hustler, $20 super chat. Did you know she was reaching out to people like Elon, Mr. Oh yeah, I read that one. 772 Hustler, $5. Even Maria Farmer, a real Epstein victim, said she doesn't believe any of her story and reached out to her. Really? Wow. That's saying something. Yeah, soon enough, Eliza's own victims she advocated for are going to have to speak up against her. Because she basically invalidated her story by pulling the shit she did. That we went over this entire stream. So, you're saying he's consenting to how old is he? He's mature for his kitty age, okay? He's 12 in cat years. He's about a year old. Hey. Spooky. He's very playful. He gets a little too excited sometimes. You guys see him, like every stream he's here cuddling me, and then sometimes he's just like, he asked to be in my lap, and he's like, it's like, you asked to be in my lap. Why are you biting me? Anyway. I think we covered everything here. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you, Brian J, for being king of chat. And if you guys want to support me, you can check me out on Locals, because I've announced all my streams going live there because I'm still locked on Twitter. Thank you for everyone tweeting hashtag free Brittany Venti. I hope that this gets resolved, but regardless, this has clearly gone on too far. She's done too much damage, so even after I get unlocked, this really isn't over. So let's band together and keep it going, and advocate for free speech, unlike Eliza. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, and like the stream and share it.